And we are back for another week of wonderful Light of Thylea with these wonderful faces here next to me. And of course, you all thank you again for tuning in for another week of that. This is based on Odyssey of the Dragonlords, which is a fantastic third party published setting. And I think his name is Brent Knowles, right? Somebody correct me. Brent Knowles? Brent Knowles. Fantastic author. Super, super good. Worked on the Bioware team. Anyway, I don't know why. I just wanted to do a little bit of a shout out because, yeah, absolutely exciting. To be playing this at high level. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, this is tier 4 play, which you don't get to see very often because most campaigns die before they ever reach that level. Let's just be honest about that. But that is the whole reason why Polyhedra exists. The little logo right here stands for that. Polyhedra.io is the website where you can find GMs just like me running games kind of like this. And if you want more information, go to that website. It'll be all there. But I'm excited to get back in because today's episode is going to be all about love and future and peace and tranquility and plotting and intrigue. And the things that go on when a lot of high-powered, influential politicers from around the world gather in one place. Sure, it is for an official reason, but the unofficial goals, the schemes that are set in motion are going to be explored today, and I am excited about this. Before we delve in, though, there's one last shameless self-plug that I wanted to throw out there. And that is addressing a thing that I think I know of you that have been in our community for the last 2.5, almost 3 years now. No, we need more game masters. And I'm not talking about any game masters. We need some game masters who deserve more representation amongst the staff. It's a glaring thing that has been going on with the team. Not for want of trying, not for want of not wanting to have those people along the staff, but I guess just being now honest about it and saying, hey, we need your help. We need female identifying, we need people of color, we need LGBTQ plus game masters that can better represent the community. Although I am an ally, my experience only goes so far. And, frankly speaking, seeing yet another cishet white guy on stream is, let's just say, y'all deserve more. And that is why we're actively...
How boring.
I know! Tell me about it! That is why we're going to need more of you represented not just in games, but also in the community, especially in game master positions, in positions of power, and positions of voices being heard during team meetings so that you can steer where a community is going. Because what Polyhedra stands for, first and foremost, and beyond everything else, is the community. Making sure that we build it, that we have safe spaces where you just have a reliable game, where you can feel like you belong. I'm not going to repeat what Jason first told me when he joined that he did to make sure that the community was okay, the way that he put it, because let's say it's not quite, very PG. But
now I want to know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
I don't think I even know.
If there's only one F-bomb, it's PG-13. Just so you know.
Oh, really? No,
That's
it
true.
has nothing to
That's
do with
true.
it. Just that he would have a safe space, and I think that is so important. That was the whole reason that I wanted to make Polygon in the first place. That's the whole reason why we have a rainbow logo, not just in June. And if you see us have a rainbow logo in June, just know we do it all of the time for a very obvious reason now, I hope.
I don't know if you guys have heard lately, but you can only be gay in June, and you can only sell rainbow stuff in June. Any other time, it doesn't make any sense.
Should I just make it a gray logo for the month of June, just to kind of make a point? No, that actually sends the wrong message. I'm gonna stop talking about this now, and ask people that know better. See, this is why we need you. Please join me. I can only do so much on my own. I need help.
This is why David needs Ritalin.
I also need Ritalin. Give me some. No. Yes, but no. But anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Maybe don't ask for Ritalin on a public forum.
I'll talk to a professional about
This
that.
is why David needs a prescription for Ritalin.
Oh my God! This is not the David Rose. This is Light of Thylea, damn it. But anyway, that aside,
And we're banned from Twitch.
go back to the website. Again, that is Polyhedra, POLYHEDRA.io. That's where you can find some information about us. There's also a little Calendly link that you can follow to get in touch with me, or add me on Discord, Nadrian, Nadrian with a capital N. Hashtag 9820. That is a lot of things to say. Discord is changing the way that handles work, and this is also, again, why I need a prescription for Ritalin. Anyway, I'm super excited for today's session. welcome back, everyone, because we're delving into the wedding. Now, from a perspective of the players, they have been waiting for this for weeks. But there were little excursions, little side quests, wonderful roleplay that has happened. The first session of our back into the high-level shenanigans of Light of Thylea didn't even have a single die roll. That is how amazing this roleplay has been. But now, we're starting to delve into the meat of the final arc of Light of Thylea. Previously, you had dealt with the consequences of making a deal with Sidon, the Lord of Storms, and now sole god within Thylea. You were able to achieve peace and saved thousands of lives. Some of you arose to incredibly high positions, whether you're now queens or high priestesses. However, you arrived at these locations. Some, if not all of you, have regrets. Some, if not all of you, have, let's say, strings attached to the many obligations and, in case of Brissa, thousands of oaths that you have sworn to the multitude. Literally every person in Mitros has their personalized oath from Brissa.
More or less.
I believe it.
Most fascinatingly, Yanni and Lyra went on a little excursion to the Island of the Fates, an island that is very much separated from much of the rest of Thylea, a place where life doesn't really grow, but it is also the location of the Fates. 3 hags that together have watched over the development of Thylea and have pulled many a string in order to get the way that they want to see things go. Lyra, a warlock of the Fates, has very much worked with them to, well, make that happen. Estrella, once upon a time, was a priestess of the Fates, but when the time came, bent the knee and became a high priestess of Sidon instead. Yanni, you and Lyra traveled through a portal. One of the, as far as you know, only ones that exist in all of Thylea that leads truly out of Thylea, controlled by the Fates on this island of theirs. You traveled through this silvery pink mist until you arrived at the dead body of a god, which happened to be Mitros, or as she was once known, Balmitria, the silver dragon, the mother of and wife of the other 4 gods that once held the precarious Cold War peace against Sidon Lutheria. And you asked her what she could do. The answer was not much, as most of her divine power now was focused on trying to keep her alive from the mortal wound that Lutheria had struck against her 500 years ago. She had been observing what's been happening on Thylea, but the primordial magics, the eldritch wards that Thylea has upon itself on a planar scale had prevented her from directly interfering. And so, she offered to sacrifice herself to you in an attempt to make you powerful enough to strike out against Sidon, hopefully. And you partially obliged. Lyra, you saw the fate strings fall down from the ceiling, knowing full well what that meant, what the, as you have dubbed them, fate mommies, wanted from you. Yanni, you and Balmitria came up with a different plan as well. As she took her soul and a fragment of her godly powers to imbue the rings that you had been given, the rings of the Dragonlords, to protect you from Sidon's eye, so that you could move about Thylea without having a god watch you in every turn. But the rest of her divine power was consumed by the fates. As Lyra, you did what your patron asked you. And the fates now hold this shred of divine power that had been taken from Sidon to begin with. You traveled back to Mitros. Ursa, you had a conversation with Daphne that, let's just say couples therapists would probably say you guys have a long road ahead of you. There's a lot of things that you guys probably want to work on. But that said, you guys all got yourselves ready. Now, Jason and Marissa, of course, had prepared their college essays to make sure that they really, read through the 17 pages of beautiful. Actually, you guys need to go back to that episode. I'm not kidding. Pause the stream right now. Go to YouTube. Check out the Dan descriptions of the dresses because they're phenomenal. Anyway, back into this session. Because you were all going to Astoria, the northern city, the bulwark against the invading forces of centaurs and other beings, the fae folk that exist in the northern half of Thylea. Where your former companion, also one of the members of the Light of Thylea, one of the prophesied heroes to bring an end to the Oath of Peace, is getting married this day to a woman named Corinna, the daughter of one of the richest men in Astoria, a man that had passed away, leaving her to become the sole inheritor of his estate. Now, we left off as Estrella, you had walked into the city and heard jeers and insults being thrown at you. As a high priestess of Sidon, you are not very welcome in the city. The city very much being still against everything that had happened, finding itself more and more pushed away from the deal that you made with Sidon. A golden shield, shimmering and translucent, has been like a dome erected around Astoria, much like it had been in Mitros. It seems that once again, Rhodas used the power of his sword of wishes, crafted by Vulcan, the grandfather of Daphne, and him, in order to protect the city. Estrella, as you step into and walk through the streets now, not only are the jeers and the insults and the stares kind of weighing down on you, but you also feel weak. Not physically weak, but spiritually, as you can tell that the connection between you and Sidon seems to have been severed. Your powers do not come to you, and it's almost like there's a missing, like a limb that has been taken from you and just ghostly exists all around you. As you walk up the steps, you feel vulnerable. Your two priestesses that follow you are kind of looking worriedly at one another, keeping their hands on their makairas, trying to make sure that they can fan out and kind of keep you safe. As you finally make it to the palatial gardens, you're greeted by centurions. As they walk up, you are High Priestess Estrella, yes?
I am.
Please follow me. The others are in a preparation room. Welcome to Astoria.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, do you have any baggage that we need to carry? Anything? You have, of course, your own chambers as well within the palace.
No, my people will bring that in a bit later.
The priestesses kind of look at each other like, did you bring any? As you guys walk through the gardens, and eventually you come upon a scene. Which is, of course, what we had described last time, kind of. There's a long table that has a lot of fruits and meats, refreshments and wine sitting upon it, and everyone else has been there already for a minute, and we're going to actually go back in time now and describe how everyone entered before you see Estrella step into the room. All right, Light of Thylea. Who was here first? You tell me.
I flew here on dragons with Brissa, so it's really when Brissa got here.
Yeah, I think I teleported with a couple people, if I remember correctly.
Kara and Daphne.
Yeah.
Teleportation is faster than dragon flight.
Also
Yeah,
true.
but we had a whole shopping session. We had to get ready. So-
And they're hungover.
Oh, that's true.
Argenti. In that case, I will say that since you also had access to teleportation and a reason to be here early, you're going to be the first one on site. Aesop is going to officiate this wedding. As the keeper of the Dragonlord, he was invited to oversee this. Since there are no priests of the 5 remaining, as their power has waned to nothing now, he is going to oversee it and use the old rites in order to bind Rhodas and Corinna in matrimony. Now, as you guys arrived, immediately the centurions bowed low before both of you guys, excitedly invited you in, and you saw Honora, the queen of Astoria, busily already making arrangements, talking to people, and very, very, very aptly, organizing this event. If anything, in a different life, in a different world, she would have been a fantastic wedding organizer. In this scenario, though, she's a queen, and this is just one of the many, many tasks that she has to do. Interestingly enough, you do not see a sign of Rhodes. The big, hunking, colossal gladiator that he is seems to be completely out of sight as these preparations are going on. You get one view of Corinna. Now, her hair is kind of auburn and seems to be tied into a beautiful multi-crossed braid in the back. She's wearing what is this partially translucent white gown that all across it has stitchings of mistletoes, and then like kind of woven into the clothes themselves are multiple iterations of green plants and flowers that are kind of showing through in pretty much echo of Historia, the colors of the city, of course, being that. Now, as you are kind of going through this stuff, the hecticness, at some point, Aesop and Enora are talking about how this is going to go down. Aesop kind of turns towards you and kind of motions for you as you're sitting there. What are you doing, by the way, as all of this insanity is happening around you? Do you involve yourself? Do you separate yourself? What do you do?
I would be in a corner with my hands behind my back, kind of like an old man, and just watching everybody do their thing, set things up, just... if I had a pair of half-moon spectacles, I would be looking over them, but I have 20/20 vision, so I don't need those. That's what I would be doing.
As Aesop kind of waves you over, you see his lithe frame. He seems to have cut his hair very, very, very fashionably. So he's wearing what looks like a golden and silver robe that has elements of dragon scales as well, with like these black pauldrons. Not literal pauldrons, but more just like made out of cloth. And you can see that when he turns around in the back, you can see what seems to be a set of 5 wings kind of spouting off of the spine. He waves you over, and Nora, meanwhile, is pretty much just dressed in a simple toga. You can see that there's a green sash across the front of her. She's wearing a very, very elegant small crown upon her head as she kind of looks over towards you with what seems to be a curious look. Go ahead and make me an insight check.
Okay. That's going to be a 23.
Oh, no, 23. As you start approaching, you've been in these situations before. When you and your husband got married, you remember, all the hoopla, all the craziness. Maybe yours was a little bit less of a insane affair as this one. But you do know that many people usually associated with the family play a significant role. As you step through, you kind of think through this, and you realize, well, Corinna is probably missing some of her family, and Rhodes is missing most of his. So you kind of start thinking about, okay, what kind of role is Aesop going to play? Technically, he is your date to the wedding, so that means, they're going to involve. By the time you arrive, you put on a brave face, the mask is up. Enora, her just like deep brown curls are kind of wavy down her side as she looks towards you. There's a little bit of a glint from the sun as she looks towards you. So, Aesop here says that you are quite familiar with organizing these types of events as you are running the academy in, whatever they want to call it now. But, what used to be Arisha.
Yes. Back in the day, I used to do it quite often.
Oh, that is
And
fantastic.
even now.
See,
Yes.
we have run into a little bit of a snag. It seems that Corinna does not want to have her mother at the wedding, mostly because her mother still does not approve of the match, which is infuriating to say the least, and makes no sense. But that aside, it appears that Corinna is not going to have anyone standing on her side. We are assuming that certain people are going to stand with Rhodes, but he has failed to even ask Daphne at this point. Again, I don't understand why certain men are the way they are. So, we have a little bit of a puzzle, a conundrum, and we were wondering if you could maybe help us decide who could stand beside Corinna at this important event.
Well, remind me who Corinna is again, please. My memory fails me.
The bride. The woman that Rhodes is going to get married to.
Oh, yes, of course, that Corinna.
She gives Aesop a long, hard look, and a pursed lips just kind of like staring at him, and he's just like, he takes the little handkerchief and just kind of dabs his brows. He puts the handkerchief away.
Silly me, I've been alive quite a long time, and, these things, they just go over my head sometimes. Well, I suppose, Have you even asked Corinna? Or Queen Corinna? Queen?
She looks at Aesop again. Okay, for your sake, Jason, you're speaking
you.
to the Queen of Astoria. This is the
That
actual
is the
queen,
queen.
who is
Thank
the
you.
who is the step sibling of Rhodas and step sibling of Daphne. So they all have the same dad, different moms. All three of them different moms. Okay, so Corinna is
Cool.
the daughter of a rich
That's
man.
half siblings, by the way, not step siblings.
Sorry,
but-
yes, you're right. English sucks. English is stupid. Damn it. Just kidding. I just suck at using it. I guess.
100%.
No, you're right. English is
100%
stupid.
right.
You're absolutely right.
But anyway, they're half siblings, and so Enora and Aesop, the Queen and Aesop are asking you like, "Hey, how should we do this?" Corinna is the bride of Rhodas.
That's right. That's right. Yes, thank you for that. That very quick catch up. Has anyone even asked Corinna yet? Who Corinna would like standing next to her?
We have tried
that
to,
is the
but
most
she
important
has
thing.
no interest in getting involved with the affair at all, even though it is, you know, her wedding.
Well, I suppose if she doesn't want to get involved, then she'll have nobody stand next to her. I think that's quite simple.
Right. Well, that is quite unusual and unorthodox, but I suppose that will do. It seems that you're a bit confused anyway. Why don't you take some time? We have some spas and baths that you can take advantage of. She gives you
Thank
kind of
you.
just like a sour, very salty little nod as she then walks away, and Aesop is just, what is going on with you, Argenti? I've never seen you so scatterbrained before.
Suppose I'm a little worried. I feel the doom and gloom, if you know what I mean.
Right, but
Something is afoot.
what do you mean? This is a very important event. A wedding where we're going to see a lot of important people gathered together. We need to make sure that we potentially get them on our side. The resistance is not going to fund itself, you know, and offending people like the Queen of Astoria are going to have long-term implications.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
Who is Corinna? Come on.
You know, I actually did know that. I don't know why I even asked her to begin with.
You
I
get
suppose I
this
just
way
wanted
when
a
you get
refresher.
little sleep. How much did you sleep
Yeah.
last night?
Well, I slept enough. Enough.
Why don't you take a nap before the event?
I think I'll be fine. Thank you for your concern.
He just kind of gives you a long look, shakes his head, and starts to walk away. But not before giving you
I
a
start to fall
squeeze
asleep.
on the elbow.
Oh, thank you. I'll just go back to standing. Oh yeah, I think she wants the flowers over there. Yeah. Have a good one. Here's a gold coin. Yeah. So.
Flash of magic. Yanni, Daphne, Kyra arrive in Astoria. As you look around, Daphne, people immediately recognize you and Yanni. Kyra has very much changed her appearance. She seems to have kind of like this dishwater blonde hair, very, very short cut, kind of pixie cut. As she kind of looks around, it's just like, You even see she seems to be a little bit lighter, maybe like a half elf or something like that. Interesting. So this is Astoria, huh? As the Centurions kind of go over, Lady Daphne, Lord Yanni, welcome to Astoria. We have been waiting for you. Lord Yanni,
Here we are.
are you going to... what?
Well, here we are.
Right, are you still going to be part of the warding process of the temple? We just want to make sure all of our defenses are 100% up. I know that you said that you are familiar with abjurative symbols. We have some of
yeah.
the academy here.
Okay. Yeah, I can help.
And you see the Centurion has definitely been just fretting about that, and probably just for the past few hours been waiting for you to finally arrive, and you can see him kind of like, okay, this way, right away. And you, can you please take Daphne to Corinna? Yes, thank you. As one of the Centurions like, Lady Daphne, there is a delicate political matter that you seem to need to have to resolve.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
You walk through the gardens. You finally arrive at what seems to be a beautiful, large room. It clearly has been now retrofitted to kind of function as the place where the bride and her handmaids, as everyone else that is involved in the hoopla are currently sitting. Refreshments are there as well. And you can see a wooden mannequin that has this beautiful white dress currently just kind of draped upon it. You see Corinna, meanwhile, in dirty studded leather armor. She definitely has still riding grime on her, as she probably rode a horse not too pretty recently. And you can see her arguing with Honora, the queen of Astoria, back and forth. As Honora says, "You cannot simply get off a horse and then show up to a wedding. That is not how any of this works. Do you understand that all of Astoria is going to watch you today? They're going to have their eyes on you, and you need to make this count. You cannot simply throw away this shot at trying to make Astoria believe in this." And Corinna just kind of goes, "Ugh." Her muscles are also kind of tense as death. She's nowhere your frame or Rhodus's frame, but it seems like over the last few months since you've seen her, she's definitely practiced and trained more. Where maybe some individuals, because of stupid beauty standards, would want to slim down for a wedding. If anything, Corinna has beefed up a little bit. "Hey, Daphne, can you help me with this idiot?" "How dare you? I'm going to be your sister-in-law. I am your queen." Yeah, whatever. Can we just please, I'm just going to wear the stupid dress. I'm going to show up. I say the vows. I will oath something to Rotes. It will be fine, right? Everything. Daphne, come on. You're on my side, right? Daphne, you please need to help me drive into Corinna's thick-minded shield of a head that she is representative for all of us this day.
Okay, I'm gonna need both of you take your voices here down to about here. Please.
And Nora just gives you a look with the side, and Corinna's just kind of a little smirk on the side. Are you hungover?
I don't even want to about that right now. It's a wedding. That's the thing we should be talking about right now. Don't even worry about that.
Imbeciles all around me. You deal with Corinna. My God. Also, Rotes, has he asked you? You're going to stand with us in the front, right? You're going to stand next to your brother during the ceremony at the front. You don't have to say anything. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to kill them all. That entire family. It's fine. She kind of just walks away. She talks about killing all the children of all the other children of Peter.
I mean, Arisham's trying to do that, but sure.
And I'm going to succeed. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. New villain. All right.
Corinna just kind of looks at you as she already has a little glass of wine that she's handing towards you.
Yeah,
listen, for me, usually the best remedy for this is a little bit of extra wine. Just get really drunk. It's fine. Hangover can catch you if you stay drunk.
It's true. That's true. I might partake in that theory today. But I know we haven't really had enough time to chat, get to know each other, but pardon me, but normally a bride is really excited for their wedding day.
I mean, okay, listen. We knew this was going to happen. We thought it was going to happen 2 years ago. And then my father died, and we almost called everything off. And then, I don't know. I mean, your brother changed. He actually became a little bit more of a man, which was nice to see. I don't know, it's just, after 3 years, this is like a moment where it feels as if it's finally becoming real,
Mm-hmm.
It's just yeah, I know, most brides have, I don't know, scrolls full of things that they've drawn and how they want their wedding to look like, and flowers, and then they took a corkboard and they pin these things together, and it's just, listen, that is not me. I don't believe in that. I think this wedding is for other people. It's not for us.
That's true. I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like it is. I'm sorry to see that, but...
So, Rotas and I were talking. Maybe him and I are just going to get real married and then just stand up the wedding. What do you think? We'll just kidnap Aesop. We go somewhere in the mountains. We have a nice little affair. We say fuck it to all of this. And all of these malakas can have their whatever without us. Do you want to come?
Do you want to piss off Honora even more? Do you plan on having a successful business here in Astoria afterwards?
I mean, I'm going to be, I mean, listen, I'm still getting all of the paperwork done, but I'm the richest woman in Astoria. Yeah, Nora has the power, she has the centurions. But I have the man who erected a shield around the city. And Nora, as far as I'm aware, has not taken a husband or wife or anything in between, so she is not going to have anyone to inherit the power. So who do you think is next in line? I'm sorry. Listen, Rotas and I have talked about this a lot. And Nora is fantastic at running the city, but I don't know. She doesn't seem interested in her own... I mean, she doesn't believe her own lies. Why hasn't she taken someone as her betrothed? It's almost like she's trying to set us up to become the next king and queen anyway. She never asked us. She has been, politicking towards that location. Why do you think she's making such a big deal of this damned wedding? I think she wants to abdicate between us. Sorry.
Oh. No, really?
I don't know.
Do you think she'd want to get that?
Well, you see, she had to make a lot of unfavorable deals. And there are many who look at Rotis and see the true second coming of Peter. And listen, yes, he doesn't like it either. I mean, he does. He did. He was really into it. That man has daddy issues. Do you have daddy issues too? Sorry if that's a little personal question.
Chugs the wine.
See, that is going to help.
I know there's a lot of people here for Rhodas that would be disappointed if a wedding didn't happen. That being said, are you guys planning on staying the entire time? What if you just got married in the safety, you did the quick, and then you said your vows, you go. You don't have to stay in politic, you don't have to save face for Honora's sake or anything like that. You just say your vows and leave for the mountains like you were thinking of doing anyways.
You gonna come? I like you said, I barely even know you, and you're going to be my sister-in-law, huh? You can maybe teach me a trick. How does your trap look like that? It's ridiculous. You make it look effortless.
Forge? Having Peter as a father?
Yeah. See, I like riding horses more. Or being outside. I don't really like being cooped up. Sounds kind of boring and repetitive. Sorry, no offense.
Teach her.
That's right. Okay, fine. Nora has another one. She wants me to pick someone. My mother doesn't want to be there because she thinks I should be focusing on the business, and she is the one who first saw the signs. She's the one who brought it up to Rotas and I that maybe Nora wants to step down, and then by default, Rotas would have to step up and become the next king of Astoria, or it would, I mean, God forbid, it would, I don't know, become something else. Maybe a democracy or something. I can't even fathom what that would be like.
So she does approve of you two marrying? She just isn't a fan of...
She also doesn't... Listen, my parents saw Peter their entire lives, which is weird to think about too. Growing up and seeing Peter, and he stays exactly the same, but beside the point. And so his entire time that he ruled, it was a miracle that he didn't drive Astoria into financial ruin with what he did. It wasn't just the drinking. It wasn't even just the festivities and the mismanagement. It was the stupid people that he put in power again and again. Now, my father was very good at making that work in his advantage, but it also weakened Astoria. All we really did was spend money on more military things to protect Mitros from northern invasion. Everyone knows this. That is a simple fact. But now, we're alone. I don't mean to drive a wedge between ourselves and Mitros, but I'm sorry. I have to agree with some of the people that are not enthused by the fact of what you did to Thylea.
I mean, I'm right there with them, so.
I don't know this. Protus was lucky that he got out when he did. After all, he was mere moments away from being taken by Luteria, too. So anyway, my mother doesn't like the thought that whatever Rotus might pass on with, his blood will live on in our children, and listen, she thinks it will sully the line, which, how can God blood sully a line? I don't understand it either, but that's just my mother.
Well, Peter, and as you explained earlier, where she's from. But that being said, why couldn't this have just been a fun, simple wedding? I'm sorry.
Tell me! Listen, we were thinking about doing it a million times already. But Nora insisted that we don't have like a short little one, so we instead have this big fanfare and people invited from all over the world and whatever. Fine. I'll do it. Can you stand with me though instead? Do me that favor. Rotus will have a Nora. I'd like to have you. Do you want to be my handmaid? Sorry, normally there's supposed to be a bard singing things and you get flower. Hey, you, bring those flowers over here.
No,
you see one of the people just like, okay. And just brings like this little like display set of flowers, kind of sets in front of you.
No.
Oh, dearest Daphne.
Oh, God, take
fairest of the Forge Masters and all of Thylea. Would you do me the honor? I will speak more quietly if you say yes. Will you do me the honor?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yep. Oh. You're really okay with me standing there?
Actually, now I want you to. And I'm going to speak loudly. This is going to be fun.
Is it bad of me to say I already hate you?
Yeah, that's all right. I think it's
All
going
right.
to be a good start to a friendship. As we swivel away, Yanni, you're walking on the outskirts of the Temple of Pitor. The multitude of marble pillars are rising up, and you can see on the bases of them are intricately layered upon layered different iterations of tabaxi. Tabaxi everywhere now. But you see runes of a multitude of different schools of magic, but you can definitely see that all of them are interconnected with connector runes that are all abjurative in nature. And you can see that the temple itself has been fortified, even from the last time that you went there. As you kind of look over this stuff, I'd like you to make me an investigation check or Arcana check, your choice.
Okay, I can accommodate. Let me get back to that page. Well, my Arcana is significantly better. So, we'll go with
Investigation it is. See, this is why you picked. This is what happens when you instead. What's your total?
that. So 20.
Awesome.
It's a 20.
You look through, and this is magnificent work. I mean, the wards that were placed at the base of this temple, if anything, are equal to the academies. Whoever did this did a phenomenal job with it. But it's also interesting, because it seems that there has been some damage to some of them. Some of them look newer, like somebody mortar pestled some new elements in there, kind of like trying to match the color of the marble as much as possible. But you can definitely see that there's something there, as if newer runes had to be carved in again and again and again. And as you talk to kind of the temple wizard there, he kind of sees you starting to kind of like scratch away at one of them to kind of confirm your suspicion. He goes, yes, there was a bit of, it appears, tampering with the runes lately, and so we had to redo them again. We've been keeping tight control on this lately, but it's been quite frustrating. I apologize for what seems to be a very rough job. We're going to reform the marble eventually, but we just needed something done quickly.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Well, I mean, I believe longer lasting, done methodically, slowly is the best way to do these.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, young Master Yanni, can you tell me more about the classes that you teach in the academy? I believe you have been focusing in particular on what appears to be the what you call the truths of the multiverse, the underlying the theoretical framework around. God damn it. Framework around the way that what is this theory you call gravity?
Well, I didn't coin the term, but yeah, I got looking into the forces that tie it all together, and there's this concept called gravity that's basically what keeps us from floating off into space, into the clouds in the sky and whatnot.
But how would that work on the bottom side of Thylea? I mean, we all know that we are on a flat tile, and that is what we call Thylea. Would that mean people in the bottom would just keep falling forever into the nothingness?
No, it pulls towards the middle. It pulls towards the middle.
Interesting. So that we could possibly have two planes. But why is it that if we remove something... And also, do sirens then just have an innate way to defy gravity?
Apparently. I think it has something to do with the wings.
So wings are magical constructs that somehow are able to defy the that natural magic that you call gravity.
Gravity, yeah.
Gravity.
That's, as far as I can tell, all birds are inherently magical. And
Interesting.
yeah.
We must speak more about this at the wedding. I do have to make my rounds, but thank you. That was very nice of you.
Have a good one.
Kind of starts
Enjoy
to
the wedding.
shuffle off. As you look around, you can definitely explore the space more if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'll look around a little bit.
Alrighty, you're starting to look around, and interestingly enough, as you move about, go to make me a perception or investigation check. Your choice.
They are the same. So I will roll investigation just for the chance to use it. Wow. I'm rolling crap. 12.
You
But
look
that's
at,
with a plus 10.
you look you look about, and clearly, I mean, the marble has been polished to a sheen. It is beautiful. It seems that some magic is also used to try to keep, some of the dust and stuff that just floats through the city of Astoria naturally off. But as you kind of go through, there's almost like this weird shading, the shift in some of the marble wall. And as you step closer, you realize that something was washed off recently, and it left just an almost imperceivable kind of like sheen there. But because you were just kind of looking at the structure itself, kind of thinking about, okay, if I attacked, I would attack from here, kind of like your adventurer brain started to kick into full gear, you do realize it, that there seems to be a little bit of like what seems to be places, multiple, probably like a handful of smudge upon the temple. It's barely perceivable.
Take a closer look at whatever's closest to me.
You step in, and as a man who has to work with inks quite frequently, it is very obviously that somebody used ink, and a quite corrosive, very acidic ink to kind of try to make it stick to the marble itself. Now, it was cleaned and then clearly magically treated after the fact, but magical ink was used here. This is probably some kind of, maybe an act of vandalism. But it's, with a 12, you can't quite put together what this might have been. But it definitely was magical ink that was used for it.
I might as well blow through some spells. I would like to cast, or actually, I don't have that one prepped. How far out from the?
You tell me.
You
have free reign to investigate it. Oh, from the actual wedding, it's the same.
Yeah,
day.
how much time until the wedding starts?
You would gather at this point. It's kind of free form of when you guys got there because you went shopping first. You would guess it's right before sundown, so you maybe have another 6-ish hours left.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, I'll take the 10 minutes to ritually cast Detect Magic to see if there's still magical residue there.
You sit there and you kind of start incanting, and then as a flash of magic starts to come from your eyes and you look upon it, the temple is just a block of black. You cannot sense anything about it, and then you go, damn it. You look down upon, or you remember the runic carvings themselves. They are designed to block divination as well, which is interesting. But as you look across, as you look at this beautifully interwoven field of magical powers that seem to sit almost like this netting of power around the temple itself, where it looks dark, it does seem to be that the smudges themselves have almost like a coloration against a black backdrop effect. But again, it's like somebody took a Photoshop slider and just increased red by like 5%. And so there's just this weird little off coloration. Even with magical enhancement, you kind of have to kind of step back and forth for you to be able to even just make out. It's really just because you spotted it in the first place that you can tell. Indeed, there is some
kind of that whole adjust the brightness until you can barely see the image thing.
Precisely.
Yeah. So if that's showing through the divination block, does that mean it's super strong? Oh, I should have paid more attention to the divination guy when he was giving that lecture.
Today's class, we're going to... And you remember that wheezy voice, and you remember why you didn't pay attention.
Yeah, that was a good nap, though. Are the other patches of it that I spotted, like, are they the same kind of discoloration?
Same kind of discoloration. They might be, slightly brighter, slightly less, but it's like 1% up, 1% down kind of situation. It seems like the cleaning that was done to whatever, tagging has been done to the building was pretty thorough, but it wasn't able to completely erase it. With your 20 earlier from the Arcana roll, I'll put it into this one. You are fairly certain that it is not enough to have a negative impact upon the temple in its current form. Like somebody would have to come back and redo whatever they did to have any kind of magical implication, but then they would also have to spend a lot of time coming up with the magical formula and geometry necessary to carve runes, or write runes in this case. It has been disabled by the temple people. But what was it? You're not sure.
Maybe this takes the eye of somebody not so learned so much as instinctual. I wonder if Argenti might be able to shed some light on this for me. I'll have to track him down.
As you walk back towards the temple, you ask around, it's like, oh, that one, he keeps telling me what to do when I don't need his opinion. No, it is going to be green. We understand that he thinks black and silver might be better, but it is a story. Anyway, he's over there.
No, you can't. Black and silver. I told you. Who's in charge of planning this wedding?
Of course, Lord
goodness.
Argenti. We'll get to it right away.
Back in my day, we didn't have people who made these kinds of colors. We had a standard for things.
I mean, it's
What?
Astoria. The standard
What?
color around here was blood red for a long time, so,
Oh, yes.
Hey,
Hello,
you got like
Yoni.
a few minutes? Come look at something for me?
Yes, 1 second. Just gonna look around the room, see if anybody's doing as I asked them to do. It looks like they're at least pretending to do what I asked them to do. So yes, I do.
So, walk with me.
All
So I
right.
found what looks to be cleaned up smudges on the walls of the temple that are... They were written in magical ink, whatever they were. And there's a divination block up on the temple right now, so I couldn't really get a lot of detail even from a simple dispel magic, but
Oh.
It looks like there's still at least a little bit of residual magic in there. I think we're okay for now. I think whatever it was has been sufficiently removed, but I can't make sense of what it was supposed to be, and I was hoping maybe you'd spot something that you could make sense of, since you're also a magic person.
Right. Well, that's possible. Do we think it is sinister in nature? Or...
Well, it looks like it was probably vandalism. But why would you vandalize with magic ink if you weren't trying to do something more? Because clearly it wasn't like, oh, it's permanent. That's what the magic does, because they still got rid of it. So,
Right. And why would it be so obvious? If you were able to find it, maybe anybody could find it.
well, I got a little lucky, I think, and just spotted it at the right angle.
Or it could have been a threat. They wanted us to find it.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's go see it.
Yeah, you're there as you stand before it. To avoid dogpiling, I'll give you the option. If you want to, I'll let you make me either a perception or a history check.
All right, let's bring out the old noggin. Never mind. History check. Okay. That's gonna be a natural 1. 6.
Feel free to make up whatever you want to, Jason, as you have no clue and will aggressively try to cover your tracks there.
You know, back when I used to teach, and didn't do as much administrative things as I do now, I would notice that the students, they would draw little symbols on pieces of parchment or on the backs of their books, and some of them were pretty obscene, but it was like they were trying to create their own sort of enchantments. And if it's just vandalism, maybe that's all it is.
But why magic ink?
Well, maybe
Just make it harder to clean up?
Sure, why not?
Maybe.
Or it could have been some sort of explosive sigil. Maybe they intended somebody to walk by it and it exploded. Or, maybe it wanted it to explode. Not past tense, it didn't explode. Because we haven't heard about it unless there's a massive cover-up happening. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep either, so...
Okay. All right, well, thanks for taking a look.
Welcome. Anytime.
I hope some of those people actually did what you asked them to.
They probably didn't, Things aren't as good as they were in the old days, of course. When he looks for some coffee. And I'll just wander off.
Is there anybody around other than the lip-smacking guy who might have some clue as to what had been here?
Go ahead and roll me a D100, Yachty.
Probably not at a 26.
I would like to ensure that we have at least 3 different wizards at the 3. Oh yes, Yanni. Is there something else that you needed?
Can I get a free casting of Power Word Kill for the day? Do you happen to know what those smudges used to be? I kind of point them out.
You immediately can tell that he's getting kind of weird about it, like a little embarrassed.
You spotted those, of course. You're a keen adventurer. Well, we had an incident, so a few, 7 in total of vandalism on the temple. It is quite frustrating. We have not been able to find the culprits. We suspect, however, that it is, of course, some of the youths. It is always the youths. Yes. Who do these things. What is interesting is that they somehow got their hands on the magical inks, which made removing them significantly more difficult than simply waving your hand and prestidigitate it away, But it is what it is. It took more time to actually clean things, but, my no good for nothing acolytes were finally able to do something. My apprentices worked, and their elbow grease was greased, and they were able to remove it after 5 hours of hard work. Yes.
Do you remember what any of the symbols looked like?
Yes, interestingly enough, they all shared the general same symbology. It is actually a topic of mine that I'm very, very, very interested in. The power of symbols and symbology in particular, being able to convey meaning in very quick ways, not just through magic or communication, but symbols themselves. How much can we put into one symbol and people still understand it, I think that the way that we can truly convey the most information is by thinking of a set of symbols and combining them into multiple symbols. And
he kind of goes on a long, arduous track of theory, of communication, symbology, iconography, uniform. And finally, he arrives.
Oh, but you were asking about the symbology of the it was interestingly enough, it was the symbol of a hand. Again and again and again. And it's quite interesting to us. We have heard of reports west of Astoria and even to the north somewhat of the symbology happening quite often. Some people have started calling it the cult of the hand. Not a very creative name, if you ask me, but it is what it is.
Cult of the Hand. I've heard of that.
Oh, you have? Tell me more.
Just that it's some upstart thing since the end of the...
Upstart!
Oh.
I know it.
Yeah, that's really all I know.
Youths!
Apparently
Were
some
there
kind
youths involved from the person that told you this?
I don't know. All I heard about it was that it was potentially people who were not happy that Sidon's the
that
sole
is... No one is
divine
happy with
entity
Sidon,
and-
so why do you turn towards the hand?
Anyway,
towards the
I mean, it's
true
something to do
future.
with...
Peter's children.
Apparently they're trying to, like, I don't know, get people to worship Kentamani or something, hoping he'll resurface and put his son in his place.
Excuse me. No, that is absurd. Everyone knows that Kentamani is slumbering. It will not rise again. That is...
Make me an insight check, Yanni.
Insight. I'm okay at insight.
I hate this man.
I hate my dice. Rolled a 7 for a 12.
You can tell that he is nervous at that mention, and it seems to you that he may have had that theory himself, but is trying to kind of like downplay it.
Oh, these children, these youths, trying to always think of things so crazy. Anyway, I apologize that you had to see our temple in such disarray.
No, it's
Thank
funny.
you
I have a
for-
good eye for detail. I think most people won't notice it. I just have a really good eye for detail.
Oh, exactly. Nothing would go by the eye of Yanni.
Yeah, all right. Well, thanks for your time. I gotta beat feet.
Of course, anything you need, colleague. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. You too.
You walk away.
Part of me wants to step around the corner, disguise self into some other shape, walk back and kick him in the nuts, and then leave. But
And that
But I'm not
thought
going to.
is very serious as you wipe away much of the spray. Apparently, don't say it that you have to wipe off your face from that man.
no, prestidigitation, man. I'm not going to touch that stuff with my hands.
It's true. God. People turn into a roarous chant.
Dragons!
As you kind of go over. But then other people seem to kind of shouting against.
No, you idiot! These are the minions of Sidon now! The promise that the casters brought us was false! No, the dragons will defend us! They're the Dragonlords after all! Ah, you fool! They're Stormlords now.
And so Brissa, Lyra, and Castus are greeted by a mixture of applause and boos as you guys land within the city. Children
And Pascal.
Children kind of waddle up next to all of you guys and kind of like big-eyed look at the dragons. Mothers and fathers pull away their children, trying to kind of like make sure that they're safe. As the Centurions kind of step up.
King, Queen of Mitros, my name is Davos, and I was sent to help you come to the palace. Welcome to Astoria. We are very grateful to have you.
Brissa will just hop down off the dragon and like walk up to the guy and be like, "Oh, it's thank you very much," and she'll give him a hug.
Thank you.
I know the way, and just, like hold out the hand for Castus.
Castus just kind of leans over.
You don't have to give them a hug. It makes them incredibly uncomfortable. You're just trying to show them how little they are. Some men are not comfortable being... Did you call it again? Listen, the next time if you call me Short King one more time in public, I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable with my own stature, but you don't have to point it out like that. It's just not... Listen, I just mean it's not exactly nice,
Do you want me to carry you to the palace?
Stop it.
It's like slap his ass.
Ow.
Walking up.
Not right now. Later.
As Pascal and Lyra are kind of following behind a little bit at ways.
I love this city. So much anxiety. So many people looking over their shoulder. So when a festival comes about, they finally let loose. It is enjoyable.
The last time I was here, I had to convince them all to sacrifice themselves in a war against Aresia, so this is pretty chill.
Oh, maybe we should do this again.
Wait, the war?
Yeah. War is quite profitable, don't you think?
No?
Oh, of course not. Sorry. I need to leave work at home. We're here to enjoy ourselves. Have you seen all the places in Astoria?
I mean, every time we're here, it's pretty cut and dry, so we didn't really get, like, the tourist experience.
Mitros thinks that it has the best brothels in all of Thylea, but that is not the truth. When you're under constant pressure, all of the time. Let's just say there are a lot of hidden places we could explore together. I apologize, I always liked cutting straight to the chase. There is a reason you invited me to this after all, isn't there, Lyra? I have a wine cellar in mind. Question. Have you ever been tied up?
We just got here.
I don't want to lose any more time. Come on.
As you guys walk a different path. Do you follow Pascal, first of all?
I think it takes a couple beats, but probably.
And Brissa and Acastus, the two of you are walking up the stairs towards the main gardens as people are saluting you, bowing as they should before a regal couple like yourselves. And Nora is already standing at attendance. You see no sign of Rhodas. As she goes, Queen, King of Mitros, it is good to have you. We are very gladdened that you are willing to attend the affairs today. I know how busy you have been.
We are very pleased to be have. So thank you for the invite, and we are glad that we could be here.
Of course. We have light refreshments. Your friends have already arrived. Yanni and Argenti. If you could maybe keep your friend Argenti somewhat occupied. It seems like
He is occasionally dozing off and then randomly telling people that they need to change the arrangements around the temple. We would prefer if that ceased.
Yeah, we can
Oh.
do that.
Okay. If you need to confer with your spouse for a moment, no worries.
There we go.
As you and the casters kind of whisper to each other.
No, we could talk to our deity, but I don't really control what he does. But
Oh, shame. Oh yeah, that's right. He's not a subject of yours.
that is true. So, get
We
really
will ask Estrella. I'm sure she can tell people in Narija what to do. All right, have a blessed day. Under the 5.
She's not even here yet.
Versus as you walk into the room, Argenti, have you been drinking any wine, eating any of the refreshments? What are you up to?
Well, I was just about to say, I feel like there's some sort of fist fight happening in the wine cellar. There's a strange sound. It's repetitive, and I'm too
Hello?
nervous to go myself. I feel like I should report this to somebody.
There is no wine cellar in the temple. I think you have had too much wine.
Oh,
With respect.
No. I just have excellent hearing.
Oh.
I can't believe you can't hear it. How? Sorry, no.
As Brissa and Cassis walk into the room, Daphne and Corinna have also kind of just... You are now in the room that is reserved for the party guests, and Corinna has kind of like left her handmaids back at the proper bridal place. As they're kind of huffing and fussing, it's like, Lady Corinna, we need to get you ready. We need to clean you. It's fine. I'm going to clean myself. Takes 5 minutes. You have a rag? Doesn't have to be a fresh one.
It should probably be a fresh one. You're kind of...
What?
You got...
Huh?
Right. You've been out riding? Yeah, okay.
Gone?
There,
Good?
there.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, fine. Wash me. Is this so weird? Why are the people washing me? I feel like a baby. She kind of starts walking out of the room. You see Brissa and Cassis walk into the room. Yanni's already kind of sitting there as well. And Argenti, you exist.
Yes.
There's no
Very tired.
roads.
The guards are kind of throughout the temple, kind of walking around, but in this room, no, there's nobody else.
Hello, everyone. Seems like we've all gathered. How was everyone's trip? The little Lyra is here somewhere. She flew with us. She must have ran off. I don't know. Like maybe she's doing something. Maybe she's like getting a last-minute gift or something along those lines. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'll say.
How was everyone's travels?
Fine. Teleportation.
Oh, really? That makes sense. I would, probably teleport if I was, after a night of debauchery.
Whoa.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Debauchery.
Just drinking. I don't think that's very debauchery.
Debaucherous.
Vandalism as well, maybe,
No.
Yeah, sure, yeah. That's right. It was one of our Stormlords that we caught doing it. So, slipped my mind.
What?
So-
I'm very confused. Are you doing okay? Do you have your head on straight? Or...
there was just some vandalism at the Temple of Sidon, and so
Oh.
but it was, it's all
Oh.
taken care of.
Well, that's good. Hopefully, a queen would be able to take care of that.
Yeah, that would be a
we've
shame if
beheaded the guy.
suddenly, more pieces of the Temple of Sidon just disappeared. The pixie cut half-elf Kyra says.
Your Majesty, how are your children?
Oh, well, Mitros is good. We left her in the city.
And your other one?
Just gonna give him a glare. He
I
is.
cast this as well.
For
Receiving
someone
an
of no
excellent
significance,
education.
you seem to be throwing daggers very quickly.
Who's that?
Are you being in character or out of character?
In character.
My love.
Oh no, not who's that? Like who's talking to me right now? No, like who's that? Like who's the one throwing daggers? Who's throwing daggers?
Argenti. You might be part of the Light of Thylea by association. But the truth is...
I'm just an old man.
Exactly. You might want to be careful with the things that you are willing to throw around so carelessly, these words designed to hurt. You know
My
precisely
apologies.
where a child is. I hear you run an organization of children in Aresia, however. Isn't that true?
That is correct. Yes, yes. Very good students. They all learn rather quickly.
Mm-hmm. Do they learn to bend the knee to Sidon? Like you're supposed to? Because I hear that you are endangering them in a city where they are required to worship, unlike ours, where people can still have a free mind.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that. You know, I don't pay too much attention to, you know, the rumors and what others say about me, but
well, you might
it's
want
all right
to,
if you do.
because rumors can lead to lightning bolts, it turns out. And getting on the wrong side of Sidon these days can leave a man a husk, burnt out flesh.
Oh,
Or so I hear. But you're right, it is all gossip. Excuse me, I have more important people to speak to than this man.
It gives you a little peck on the cheek. Brisson walks out of the room.
well, that was dramatic, wasn't it?
She'll just like look at him and be like, "Don't bring up my son again."
All right, all right. I'm gonna just doze off again. But not actually dozing off. I'm still listening.
Has anyone seen Rotus? You know, I haven't seen him quite yet.
No. I haven't.
So it's a little odd, isn't it? Should we have seen him around?
I suppose. Check on him. There was, originally it sounds like there was a plan to wedding together. Make sure Honora and other guards aren't within earshot saying that. It might be check up on him. Still
Yeah.
around?
We should go find him. Like if we want.
Yeah, if you want.
I mean,
I
shouldn't
think I
we-
have to make sure the bride doesn't piss off Honora too much.
I mean, that's fair. She did look a little dirty for her wedding day.
Yeah, like she just came back from like a ride. I mean, I would imagine if it's wedding, butterflies be all excited, but I guess like you know, this is just for show.
I understand that. You know, I mean, but you know, you do have to put on that show. You know, he is the next in line.
Maybe you can talk to her. I don't know what I'm talking about with the wedding.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't really know her that well. You know,
Do you know wedding?
Yeah, that you know, that is fair. That is fair. But you know, I think that you got it. I will look for Rotus and make sure he hasn't decided to run away or anything, and I'll bring him back here if he has.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you bring Argenti? Maybe get him out of Honora's hair for a little bit.
Sure. Do you need to be carried, Argenti? Yeah, you're still sleeping. Are you tired?
Sorry, what were you all talking about?
Argenti, are you feeling well? This is
Of
a
course.
big day.
True. Yes.
Do you need some tea to like wake you up a little bit?
I would love that. I just think in the last 3 years I've just gotten a little older. You know, the bones creak a little bit more, and it's all right. I'm fine.
Don't look 3 years older, if that helps. Well,
Oh,
you do have
heck.
some bags, alright.
I'll let that one slide, Daphne. I like you.
Thank you.
Yanni, you're definitely in this room too, as they all kind of just like talking literally above you.
Yanni, do you want to come find Rhodas as well? You can. I mean, you were his best friend and bodyguard for a while, so you can.
Sure. Yeah, I want to see him.
All right.
Figured.
The three of you set out. As you guys make your way through, ultimately asking the Centurions, who at first pretend like they don't know where Rhodas is, you guys see through that fairly quickly and ultimately suss it out. Rhodas seems to be in a fighting pit, a training area for the Centurions, and he's currently in a fight involved with one of the Centurions. Both of them are kind of, clad down towards being a little bit more bestiary as they're starting to fight each other, gladiator style. You see them kind of fighting against each other. You hear the clangs of the metal against the metal, as you see some attendants to the side carrying what is this ostentatiously large golden breastplate that clearly has the roaring lion of Vulcan kind of like embedded like in the center chest. You can see the large sword off to the side as well. It seems like two Centurions are keeping a lookout, anyone approaching, immediately sizing you up as you go. You can also see that there's about half a dozen incredibly beat up, wounded Centurions off to the side, and Rhodas himself has a bunch of wounds across his body. Clearly, he has beat up all of those kids, so to speak, on the side. As he's just like, all right, bring the next one. Lord Rhodas, I don't think this is a good no! As Rhodas like immediately just like, kind of beats up against him, takes a hammer, kind of beats him. You hear the snap of a bone as his left arm cracks, and he's flung out of the fighting pit. No, Charlotte! The words kind of get stuck in his throat as he sees the three of you walk in. He immediately throws down the hammer and just starts running over towards Yanni as he picks you up like a toddler, throws you in the air, and gives you a squeeze.
Hey, buddy.
You've gone! Yanni, how are you? I haven't seen you in so long.
Oh, I have a couple of bruised ribs, but I'm good. How are you?
You'll be fine. Come on, court healer, come here. Oh, Yanni, look at you. You look so... Oh, sorry. I forgot that you are now an academic.
I'm still me, though.
He definitely is a little drunk. You can definitely smell the wine coming off of him. Oh,
Yeah.
Rissa, or should I say queen now? Kind of punches you in the shoulder. Ow.
You know it is your wedding day, Rhodas. You can't really be out here doing all
I
this.
can do whatever I want. I'm a general.
You do still have some obligations to the public. Like being a general is great.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be fine. Show up, I'll say an oath. Hey.
He does that drunk person thing where he gets really close to you. Hey. Kind of like takes you in the back of the head and just kind of like, this is almost like forehead to forehead now.
Hey. How much to borrow Thylea? Just like for one evening. Just a quick ride.
You want to ride, Thylea?
Yes.
I feel like that was a lie. She's just going to like put her hands on his head and then dump 5 lay-on hands into him to cure his drunkenness.
I hate that feeling. Oh, that's... Oh, it's worse than being drunk.
Sorry, but you needed it. You know, you are getting married in a few hours.
Yeah, I know, but I have to do the public spectacle thing, where I have to, do the thing, where people want me to be the thing. I don't want to be that thing for the people, and I mean, maybe if we can just make it a fight instead. Maybe I'll fight Silo, and it'll be a good show. Everyone will have fun. I would prefer that,
I don't think it works like that necessarily. I think you have to take the vow. I'm sorry.
How do you do it? I mean, your wedding was nice. Went to the temple.
Thank you.
Lots of people. Was it fun
You're
for
just-
you? Doesn't look like fun.
You know, it really depends on your other partner, right? And you know, you have a duty to the people, and so you realize that, and
Yeah,
then
by the way,
you have fun afterwards.
where's your asshole of a you listen, you only married him for Mitros, right? Like we agree. Acasta still deserves to be kicked in the nuts, right?
I love him now. So that is, I've had 2 of his children, and I love them, and I love him. So he had his
Yeah,
bad moments. He
You're
made
right,
some
I
bad
get it.
decisions.
Yeah, this bad moment. Yeah. Yeah. You love him though. I get it.
This will just nod and be like,
There are so many people cruising for a bruising today.
yeah.
What was that, Yanni?
What's that? Huh?
Oh, and who's this?
Oh, I was just.
And he kind of puts a big hand on Argenti's shoulder. Poof! And like there's a lot of meaty heft to it as he kind of just like squeezes it.
One of your students now, Yanni.
No. He's been doing magic a lot longer than I have. This is Argenti. He's actually a friend of
Wait, I remember
Aesop,
you.
and he's helped us out since you went to take care of your mom.
Oh, well, thanks for looking after Yanni. He's the best bodyguard I've ever had.
Probably the only one, if that's the case. But yeah,
No, I wish.
Kind of looks back over to those 7 broken young men. Just like, ah. You see one of them took a healing potion to kind of like reset the bone again in his arm. Ah.
buddy, you gotta take it easy on these guys.
What? Oh, like Thylea took it easy on us. Listen, all the stuff that we had to do, we raced from one place to another. We didn't even have time to think things through. Do you think that's how life is going to treat them? In a fight, they could just have, 10 minutes to think about what they're going to do over the next, 6 seconds of their life? No. It just happens, and you have to react.
Yeah, but I mean, this is just supposed to be sparring for fun, right? A little bit of practice.
Of course. Sparring to
Okay.
survive, too. Can't let
Yeah,
them get weak on me! Yes,
I used to see
General!
some of that- I used to see some of that stuff in I almost said Sparta, in Aresia, and
Copyright. Just kidding. That's a historical place. You cannot copyright Sparta itself. Fucking goddamn.
I hope not.
Kylie Jenner might try. Or whatever his name is. What's her name? Caitlyn? Caitlyn?
There's
Jenner?
like 53 of them, and they all start
I
with
don't
A's.
even know what you're trying to reference right now.
She tried to copyright something really like a really common word. It was ridiculous. Anyway, beside the point. Look it up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
there was.
Not right
I'm
now,
just
Tyler.
saying.
Stop it.
I know, I know. I need to take it. Well, come on, I'm in charge of them now, Yanni, and it's terrifying. I send people to their deaths now. It's not just me anymore,
Well, so I promise you, they'll be a lot more okay with that if they respect you instead of fear you.
And for the record, he looks at you, Brisa. Only got drunk so that they would have a fighting chance. Okay? Not my father.
I don't know if I believe you right now. To be honest.
Is that old man okay?
What old man?
Points at the elf that is Argenti.
Yeah.
He's been a bit morose. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. You okay, bud?
Yes. Just old bones are aching today.
If
It's all
you
right.
need to see a healer, we can get someone to you.
Oh no! It's simply age. It's fine. I'm fine.
All right.
Sharp of the mind still. Body just, it's a little lacking.
All right. Well, glad to have you all here. You're going to be in the wedding, right? Yanni, I need you to stand by my side, of course. Brissa, no offense.
Absolutely.
But, you can be part of the inner crowd, okay? Shit. Actually, can you guys do me a big favor? I was supposed to ask her months ago. Daphne's supposed to be in the wedding on my side, and I forgot about it. Can you go ask her, please?
I think that's already kind of taken care of from what I've seen.
What do you mean?
I think your sister took care of it. For you.
Alright, well, Nora needs to get her hands out of this. Okay, Brissa, the reason I need your dragon, and you're going to give me her, is so that Corinne and I can fly out of the city, nobody would see us, it will be too late, and then we can just have a little mountain wedding. What do you say?
No.
Oh,
You're
come
going
on!
you're going to do the big spectacle, and you're
Why?
going to...
I hate
Because it's about the
spectacles.
people.
I
It's
hate
about
people.
having... I understand, but it's good for morale. It's good for the people of the city. They will see you. They will get to party all night. They will get to have fun, and it will be a big thing, and everyone will be happy.
Yanni, you can make other people look like other people, right?
Um,
Perfect. You are going to use whatever your tricks, the makeup that you say is magic, and then you're going to apply that to Brissa and Acastus, and they're going to get married again in front of everyone, and everyone can have the big party. It's genius, right? Right?
I can make me look like other people, short versions of other people. I can't really do that to other people, though.
Okay, maybe I had a riding accident, and they're wheeling me in, and it's just the top half of me showing.
Look, I don't agree with her. If you don't want to do this big public spectacle thing, take your bride and go.
I do not want to do that. Oh.
So
You can get me out of here. I still...
Yeah.
Okay, you talked about this teleportation, whatever the hell that is. That's not real, right? You just make me
done
pass
that.
out, carry me all the way to the other location, and wake me up again, right?
How much drink did you have?
None.
You've teleported with me before.
I know, but I mean, that is the only way that works, right? You just make me go unconscious for a bit, and then I wake up, and everything is fine.
No, it's literal transposition of...
Yeah, get your
You're-
fancy words out of here. Magic is not real. Everybody knows this. The bodyguard comes back is like, General, please, you need to stop this joke. It is not a joke. Magic is not real.
I mean, you literally have a magical dome surrounding your city. So if magic isn't
Well,
real,
I mean,
then
God magic is real. It's different.
you've literally fought with Yanni, who can throw fire with his hands.
No, he's just really good with things like that bird that he has made, you know? It's all alchemy, right? Right? Tell them, Yanni. It's just alchemy.
No, it's magic.
Anyway, can you use your magic to get me out of the
Oh,
city?
it's magic. Oh, sorry, copyrights.
Not with that voice.
Not with that voice. I've warned you, I can't sing for crap. Anyway.
Me too, buddy. Me too. Even though I want to have a cover now, Weird Al Yankovic style, of Yanni's voice singing some of the greatest hits.
Hey, we can try. Maybe we can get auto-tune or something.
Oh, man. All right. Do this stupid wedding. Looks at you, Brissa. Kind of seizes you
What
up
if
and
we
down.
like you guys have bards here, right? Like you brought in bards for the wedding?
Yeah, that is
musicians
the
and
one
stuff?
from the boat. We just kind of thought he
Oh.
would be the best one.
Yeah. I totally remember his name.
Hephaestus or something like that.
Yeah. Hesperos?
Hesperos.
That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the name.
Yeah, that's why we keep our notes open just behind the other window. But anyway,
What window? What is this other window?
just have him just get up and do a big song and dance show and sneak out,
Okay.
entertain the people, be happy.
All right. Okay.
I'm telling you.
All right.
But if Honora asks, I had nothing to do with this plan at all, and I encourage you to stay, just so we're clear.
All right. I know you.
I'm telling Honora.
I will beat you up.
I would like to see you try.
And there's just a big smile that starts spreading.
Count her fingers first.
Why?
She'll wave the
'Cause-
6 fingers.
If there's 6 on a hand, then she's wearing the belt.
Are you wearing the belt?
She's not wearing the belt, but I don't think it goes away right away, right? So, I don't know.
Does
She's
the
not wearing
pinky,
belt.
the extra pinky, just get smaller and smaller progressively?
As she becomes deattuned to it, but it's just all the brag in her saddle.
I think you lose it right away if you unattune from it.
I don't see she wouldn't unattune from it. She'd just take it off.
Well, you have to wear it to get the strength bonus regardless.
Yeah.
But
All right, so it's for 5 fingers right now.
1, 2. Hey, stop hiding your hand. Come here.
Oh, they got a 6.
Yeah, let's go. He cracks his knuckles.
All right, let me go get Icarus real quick and Scylla.
Oh, with your lizards. Okay, that's the only way you can do it. As that continues, and you guys kind of gather back in Lyra, after hours of being away from the festivities at the temple, you return
I'm glad no one looked for me.
at the palace. And it's magnificent, the magic that Pascal can enact, especially after the fact. Cleanup and return of the core was on point. If anything, you almost look more sparkling and radiant now than you did before. As you guys return back towards the palace, you guys walk into the room
Aftercare
with
is
the others.
important. Aftercare is just as important, people.
And let's just say he was a gentleman about it. As you guys arrive back into the room, the rest of you guys are kind of sitting there having kind of like a late lunch as well as more of the wonderful foods have been kind of set out for you guys. Having some side conversations, people commenting on Argenti being a little bit forgetful today. Some other people saying, so is Estrella going to show up? As you two walk in as well, Pascal kind of takes your hand, kisses the back of your hand, gives you a little bit of a nod as he walks over to sit next to Yanni as well. And they start having a little bit of a side conversation. Lyra, you kind of walk in, all eyes on you for a second, and a lot of shit eating grins on you.
Hi, I'm here. I'm also here. I made it.
Who's your friend, Lyra? Should bring him over.
Oh, my name is Pascal. Well met. Argenti, roll me a history check.
Argenti, are
Okay.
you okay? You look a little tired.
You... There's something familiar about Pascal, but you cannot put your finger on it. Cannot recall.
First of all, Lyra, everyone keeps asking me that, but I can assure you I'm completely fine. It's all right. And do I know your friend from somewhere? You said his name was what again?
Pascal.
Pascal. His name's Pascal.
Oh yes, Pascal. Did you used to teach at the academy, or any other place? Perhaps I know you from the scholarly
I don't
world.
think they would accept my lessons there.
Anyways,
Right. All right.
what are you guys
why is
talking
that?
about?
What sort of lessons are you? Is it necromancy? I understand that there is a stigma surrounding necromancy and things like that,
Oh.
but
Not in particular. I like to turn things from one state to another. Maybe you can call it transmutation if you want.
excellent. All right.
More burning
Pascal?
questions.
I'm so thirsty. You should go get us drinks.
Of course. I would be happy to. I'll be back.
As he picks up a half-full pitcher of wine and walks out of the room.
That's the opposite.
To refill it, clearly knowing that there's wine in the room to indicate slosh, slosh, slosh. As Tyler turns on the subtitles for this D&D session.
That's right.
You disappeared for a while. Where were you at? Were you getting a gift?
I mean, yeah, you could call it that. No, so literally every time we're here, it's like a 30-minute excursion, and then suddenly we're back in Mitros. We've been so busy. So Pascal was like, "Oh, I come here all the time. So let me show you all these really cool places." So we went to like 4 different places.
Excellent. What a fine young gentleman.
Yep. So, just call me an Astoria native now, because I learned so much about Astoria.
Oh, where did you go?
Yeah, where did you go?
Yeah. And what
There's
did you
a couple
learn
of places
also?
I really love here.
Wow, we went to this one place at the center of town.
Oh,
So close to my forge shop, or
We went by it. I saw it. Obviously, you weren't there, so I didn't want to go in and.
Well,
Cutscene. It's just Lara and Pascal kind of breaking the back lock of the shop and stealing inside of it. Back to scene.
that choice of words, breaking the back lock. Okay. Excellent.
You don't know what we did. You don't know. And then we went to this brothel that he told me about. And then, really, I was just so enamored with the city that it's hard to really recall any of the names of where we went.
As you say that, Lyra, there's one place that certainly stood out to you for a multitude of reasons. You walked by the river, Arcalander, and running in the river are these little embankments, but that large rock on the southwestern end of the city, the Rock of Esther as it's called, where Kyra ended up being sacrificed in front of him, certainly stood out.
Yep. That was definitely a mood killer. So we were there for a minute, and I told him about what happened with Kyra, but she's fine now, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah! How is she? You see this half-elf woman you've never seen before, Lyra. Apparently Daphne's date.
Sorry, who are you? I thought this was for, wedding party only.
Oh, my name is Arya. Nice to meet you.
Right?
Oh, I'm
Nice to
here
meet
with
you.
her.
Oh.
He's a good friend.
Oh.
No, get that look off your. No, just good friends. Just friends.
Just good
She
friends.
Actually chatted with me a lot, and I've actually seen her quite often in these last 3 years.
Oh, well, that's good. We all
Haven't
need
really been-
someone, so.
Contact with some
Yeah,
of
it seems like you prefer that very handsome tiefling instead. What is that all about? How did you get to know each other?
Well, I'm on the Island of the Fates. He's on the Island of the Fates. We're kind of like roommates.
And they were roommates.
Yes, thank you.
So what you're saying is that you were just fated to be?
That was
I mean, I guess you could say it like that, maybe. Daphne, your friend is weird.
just gives you like a long
Kyra just gives
really?
like a still staring at Lyra, waiting for her reaction. She kind of looks at you. Okay, fine. And she kind of drops the visage for a second. You can see Kyra once again show through. It's me.
God, thank God. Anyways.
Which one? Just curious.
Well, there's so few.
Oh. Everyone has gotten
Breaks
really
wine
salty in the last few years. Let's go.
They've all seemed to have disappeared.
Kyra changes back into Ariel as she's like, all right. Anyways, we may be done with this. Why everyone has been so tense today? What is going on? We switch outside of the room. Estrella, you're approaching.
Where's Estrella?
As you can see, two tieflings speak with one another outside of the room that you were led to. Your high priestesses were told that they cannot come into the temple complex with weapons, and your trident was also taken. You look around, and it appears that none of the other wedding guests had to do that. You chose to be the greater person. You walk with lifted chin, and as you approach, you see. Listen, we're just skipping over 45 minutes of roleplay on that one. As you were approaching, you see these two tieflings speaking with one another. Now, one of them, you know very well, as Chandras seems to be chatting up this other tiefling. Yes, and how have you been? The other tiefling, dark-skinned with a beard, Pascal, goes, been quite well. What about you, Chandras?
Oh, no.
You know, I've just been in between places doing different... Estrella! Hi!
Chandras, I've missed you.
Estrella, I've missed you more. Have you been?
Who is this? Familiar?
This strapping young devil is Pascal.
Your date?
Oh, no, silly. You are my date, remember? I mean, it's been some months since you told me you're going to go with me, and I still made it. Sorry, I'm a little late.
You know, I'm so thirsty. I don't suppose the strapping friend of yours would go get us a drink.
As he has two carafes full of wine, he's like,
Oh, I hate wine.
I'm going to walk into this room where the rest of your friends are, and whenever you're done talking with each other, come join us whenever you're ready. Chandras, I didn't think this was your type. Nobody has to be completely boxed in, you know? Pascal just kind of nods and walks into the room. Hi, how have you been? Tell me everything. You look... we cannot have that. And he kind of waves his hand as the smudges and the dirt just disappear and your dress gets prestidigitated to look magnificent and beautiful. I cannot believe they would do this to you.
Yes, they also took my trident, and also I have no powers.
What?
So,
What?
right.
What do you mean you have no powers?
I mean, I have no magic. I have no powers. I am...
Oh no.
Am I going to get assassinated here?
Well, we cannot have that, so I'm going to keep an eye on you. First of all,
you.
I mean, the dress is magnificent. Do you mind if I enhance it?
Of course I...
Oh, no,
love
no, no,
it.
no, no, not in that way. Not aesthetically. It's perfect. It's 11 out of 10. I love it. Boop. As he casts Mage Arm on you. Little bit better, I think. Yes.
Thank you.
Let me make it invisible. As there's like this priestess, almost like plate armor that kind of appears for a second and winks out of existence.
Alright, so that way we have all of your vital organs protected. That trident, don't worry about it, I'll get it. That's not the only thing that's bugging you. I can see it. You're annoyed. Who pissed you off?
Well, being here is difficult.
Yeah, I don't like Astoria very much. Too uptight.
Right.
But some of the sex dungeons, whew, so much fun.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. You'll have to tell me more about that sometime.
Oh, yes. What are you into? What are your limits?
We do not have enough time right now to talk about that. It's a very long list.
Good for you. So, am I allowed to go in there? I feel like some of them still have bad feelings about me. You know.
They hate me too. Of course you can. And I'm going to take his
fantastic.
arm.
Wait, let me get you a
Everyone
trident
will
first. And then I'll go back. Actually, I have an idea. You know how to look strong and strapping? Just hold still. Cast seeming on both of you guys as you suddenly look like centurions. I'll let you do the talking. I never take these situations seriously. You are going to get your trident back. You guys walk back towards where the soldiers had taken away the trident from you, ask around, ultimately follow up, and it turns out that indeed yours is the only weapon in the proverbial code check that was checked in. Everyone else was absolutely allowed. It was just you. You can also see that your priestesses are currently arguing with the centurions about keeping their Makairas, and then they're invited to wait outside of the temple if they want to continue holding them. You finally make up some kind of a lie. What, if anything, do you say, Estrella, to get your trident back?
Rotis asked us to get this trident and bring it to him.
That's right. It is by the order of the General Rotas that we are supposed to take this trident to him.
That's right, so hand it over right now.
Go to make me a deception check with advantage.
Awesome.
I'm so excited. Oh.
You can see there's a little bit of hesitancy in the eyes of the soldier. All right. Piece of the general on his big day, but you have to hand it back. What's your name again?
Ventis.
Okay, have it back. Okay, after the ceremony or whatever. This belongs to that high bitch of Sidon. Probably sent here to assassinate Rotus. But we're pretty sure her powers don't work right now. If anything, we should assassinate her.
Really? Oh, did that work? What we did to make her powers not work? That worked?
Yeah,
That's good.
the shield is fantastic, isn't it? See, this is why
alright,
Rotus
the
is the true son of Pitor.
Mm,
He should
Yes.
lead us. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
should. To Rotis. Haha.
Ha ha ha. Ha.
Great. So, bye.
I hate historians so much. They're so boring.
I am so glad that I don't have to look like this all the time.
It's kind of funny, though. They're so stupid, too. They just let us... Anyway, you're sure I can walk into that room? I feel like I'm going to get daggers.
You can come in with me.
All right. And if they say something mean, we'll just get out of there. Very dramatic.
I'll follow your lead.
Chandras walks into the room right at that moment as you guys were kind of discussing things. As he goes, well, hello, one and all. Please, everyone, feast your eyes upon the High Priestess herself, Esdrea. As he kind of like
Chandras?
claps his hand a little bit.
Could you change me back first? Because this is probably pretty confusing.
Oh, I already have. Look down at your hands.
Oh,
See, the calluses are gone.
right.
Hey.
Hello. Good to see you all too.
Bristol will like run up and give her a hug.
Hi, Brisa. Your Highness.
We're all friends here. You don't have to say that.
Poof.
I
You don't really
sense a
stop by and say hi to me
tension.
anymore.
Oh.
Why not? You know where
Why
I
don't-
am.
Well, Yanni, sometimes it's better if I don't know things. You know?
Okay.
Why's
Pass.
why's that? Why is that a thing?
Why don't you ask me what you want to ask me, Naira?
Why can't you know stuff about us? Is it because, you have to go tell Grandpa?
Because I have to sit before him in council, yes. And
Okay, look, there's a lot of tension here, and there doesn't need to be because, well, I know things. So, would you like me to let you in on a secret, Asteria?
only if it is a place where we are safe to tell secrets, Yanni.
I think it is. Come here. Do you still have your ring? Hold your ring out. Dink.
Boom! Flash of magic. Estrella. You find yourself walking on water. An expanse of it. You rise with the waves and go back down. Standing upon it is almost difficult, but you have the power of the storm flowing through your very veins. So when it happens to you, it is something that you can deal with. But underneath, you can see a sparkling, a shining gold seemingly refracting from the very sea's bottom. And suddenly, hovering there, above the water itself, you can see the draconic figure of a silver dragon looking down into the ocean with you.
You must guide them.
As the voice booms through you, you realize this is a truly ancient dragon, and having read the stories of the Dragonlords, the unmistakable missing horn, this has to be Belmitria. Mitros, as you now know.
You have to lead them. Bring them together. Your destiny awaits. I will protect you from his eye. Choose freedom.
As the vision disappears once more, there's a glowing to the ring now. As everyone in the room is like, especially the multitude of NPCs that have no idea what the hell just happened, with the exception, of course, of Kyra's. They're just like, are you alright? What did you do to Estrella? This is still the High Priestess of Sidon, regardless of her current
It's just a little-
status.
It's just a little joke between friends. It was a pretty cool flash, though, wasn't it?
Make me a
What?
deception check.
Hold on. Gotta get to that. Keep looking at my spells.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Finally, something decent. 25.
Chandras kind of gives you a long, hard look. You can see the severe black eyeliner against this kind of almost cerulean blue skin. He's just like, well, it wasn't very funny, okay? Estrella,
I broke the tension, didn't it? That was the whole point.
Estrella, are you okay?
Okay. Thank you. I'll take his hand. That was. Did you Do we all?
Enlightening, wasn't it?
Yeah, we all know.
You know what? I think it would be great if we could just have a private conversation between the light, right? You know, like we can talk things out a little bit. You know, with old friends type thing.
Yeah, Chandras, you should leave.
I think everyone should leave that who is not part of the light.
The Castus kind of gives you a little bit of a look.
Are you sure it's everyone? I can understand some of these people don't need to be here.
So like kiss both the cheek. I'll fill you in later.
I love you. Just be careful.
He gives Argenti another hard look. Leaves the room. Pascal kind of looks towards you, Lyra. Gives you a wink.
I'll just put my hand on his cheek. You gotta go. It's important.
Oh, there is a lot to explore. Are you still down for the... No.
The wedding is in like 2 hours.
I know. We have a challenge to complete.
Okay,
I'll
bye.
try to get as many behind me as possible.
Stands up and gets out. Chandras just goes, alright, I just wanted to be known that if anyone lays a hand on Estrella, I'm going to personally hold you responsible and do whatever
We're
is
all
legal.
friends. We're all friends.
Mm-hmm.
We
Chandras,
can't
you know I
hurt
won't-
Estrella. We're literally under an oath, Chandras. Have you forgotten everything?
Well, you are not very good at making oaths now. Anyways, I will see you soon. Walks out.
Briss a pro, though. I mean, if she's in on
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I know these down back and forth, right? You're like,
Quantity is not quality, people.
Brissa's
Kyra's gonna
Brissa's
also
room
come out.
just has like every oath framed on the wall, almost like degrees.
It is the wallpaper of the palace. Kyra goes, so do I have to go too? Or can I stay?
You're good.
Yes. They're going to be pissed though. You realize that.
What?
I mean, if you
If
think you should leave for that reason, okay.
I tell you
we
what,
can always wait
you
later.
fill me in later. I'm going to be outside and pretend like I'm a personal guard, making sure nobody comes in.
Sounds good.
Got a pretty good
sounds like
nose.
that.
And as Kyra steps outside to stand guard, we're going to take a quick break and begin with a reunited, for the first time, the entirety of the light. Once again in the same room. Just them. I'm excited. Whew.
It's gonna be
Alrighty.
great. You caught Lyra in a good mood.
oh boy.
She couldn't fly at the beginning of the day. That's all I'm saying. All right. So I guess you shortly. And we are back, everyone. Oh my god. The things that happen behind scenes stay behind scenes. As we pick it back up, we finally are back in a situation where the entire Light of Thylea is in one place. Believe it or not, this has not happened for a few episodes now, since we had a 3-year gap to discover, where the heroes explored themselves, others, and things that were both open and hidden in the world of Thylea. Lyra just went on a journey of self-discovery, okay? As we pick it back up, however, the room is yours as you asked all of your, whether they were just dates or your partners or whatever, to leave the room. PCs. Light of Thylea. That's you again, gathered in one place. And there's a gorgeous ass mechanical bird. You see the arms just kind of spread out. This is one of those stimfei that the Amazonian warriors use on the regular. And it has a beautiful matching little hat on its head.
Does anybody have a silent spell?
Why are you wanting a silent spell? Are you sure that's what you want? Why are you asking that?
Well, I mostly want to talk about what just happened. With the ring, of course.
You know the people in the silent spell can't talk, right?
Yes.
Did we
I
not?
figured we could all talk. What?
Did we not do the thing with him yet?
I don't know. It's
Oh,
two
did
of
we?
you.
Did we? Oh, Argenti, hold on, and I'll just grab his hand and.
Argenti, as the flash of magic overtakes you. Similarly, the world disappears, and you find yourself in the Nether Sea with the cascading waterfalls of the souls hundreds of miles away from you as you stand upon a small rocky island that seems to be volcanic in nature, and you can see what appears to be so many spikes in the ground with massive chains. The ends of these manacles seem to have massive chokers upon them, but they're all open. You can see dried blood spattered across the ground here, massive metallic whips at the side, a table that is full of torturous tools kind of on the side as well. As you walk through that, there's a familiarity of this, almost like a workshop that you haven't seen in years. Memories kind of seem to flood back into you. It's really just a feeling of nostalgia as you walk about this place. You hear some of the chains rattling as they seem to kind of like unshift a little bit. You suddenly see a massive silvery draconic claw pick up the chains. You look over towards her, and you know in your heart of hearts, this is Balmitria.
My queen. And I'll go down on a knee. I'm so sorry. Will not make eye contact.
I know that you are. And you best be. You, Argenti, are a traitor. You took their children. And you gave them to our enemy. But I can see the injuries of Lutheria upon your mind. Are you sure you will not betray them again?
I'll never betray them again. Is it really you? You
Her
live?
wings span out, and you see how wide they go. They seem to take up your entire field of vision, the sparkling scintillation of the silvery wings shining down upon.
Yes, it is. But who are you, Argenti? Who have you become? Are you this elf now? Senile? Are you ready to reclaim what you were?
I am ready.
Then you will have to atone.
I understand. I will atone. Thank you.
Don't thank me. Save them. Redeem them. They still live in the Nether. Their minds twisted, broken, because of what you did. Save them.
All of them still live in the Nether Sea.
Where do you think she got the X from, Argenti?
How did Acastus get access to them? How did he bring them?
Is a weak fool. Because he believed a peddler, a seller of snake oils, Lutheria in disguise, and had to watch as she sold away my children and grandchildren to Acastus and the others. Because of you. My wards, lost to madness, twisted.
I'll do it. I'll save them. It'll be done.
I am very, very cross with you. And I don't know if I can ever forgive you. But I hope that you understand that what must be done must be done.
It must. And it will be done.
Trust you again with my life.
As you come out of it again with the others.
Oh, cool. Are we all caught up now? Everyone all...
Wait, like
just
I was saying,
stand up.
I named
Chair
him-
just goes flying. I
I
stumble
named him
backwards.
Yaraki because it means hawk in an old language, and I like the sound of it.
What?
So his name's Yaraki.
What?
Are you caught up? Are you all caught up? You know what's
That
going
better
on now?
not be a trick.
Nope.
It's no trick.
Then not all is lost. I just look at Estrella. And are we to trust you with this information?
Yep. We are.
Oh, Yeah, Estrella, if it makes you feel any better, Mitros was like, oh, trust Estrella, she's definitely helping. And I kind of do believe her, but, it's touchy subject.
I don't blame. Nope. I don't blame you.
Who was that?
The other
Suddenly a
D&D character.
raven-haired woman steps
Very
into that. The
single
Raven
thing.
Queen.
Check that out. Check that
Who
out.
was that? She sounded hot.
I'm so sorry.
Spray bottle, Ira. You already had yours. Come on.
I will not
I
be
don't-
tied down by one tiefling. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it'll be two.
I don't blame you for not trusting me, but this is not what I intended. You all have to know that.
For the record, I've kind of had your back this whole time, because when you and I have talked, you've still expressed that you're devoted to the concept of people having a choice. And that tells me that you're not just his puppet, that you still care about the people on the whole. So, yeah, I had no problem when Mitros, Bamitria, whatever she wants to be called these days, when she said to trust you, I was like, yeah, sure, I'm good with that. Just so you know.
Thank you. I have thought that by staying close to them, that I would find the information that we were all seeking. But I found it without them.
Wait.
One more time.
You found the recipe for those
Krabby
delicious
Patty secret
baklava?
formula.
Yes, is that what you're eating? May I have one?
Sure.
Also, just an aside, there are two decors going on outside. One is like atrocious green, and one is like really beautiful silver and black. I don't know what's happening out there.
Thank you.
Anyway,
That was me.
no, it's very important. Sorry. Yes, no, I can guide us. I think to the the PF.
PF Chang's?
The
Okay, wait. Maybe not everybody got the memo, but the rings, he can't see us or hear us anymore.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about whatever we want.
And also the dome, right? That's why the dome is here. We could speak pretty
Valid.
freely here.
Yeah. Also, don't lose them because Mitros' soul is technically inside them, I think. So,
Yeah, and
ooh.
we're gonna try and resurrect her one of these days. But yeah,
Definitely keep them on your person.
It would be awkward if they got lost. Drop it to the sea or
And-
something.
Kira has one too.
So
So you have
whenever
the location then of the primordial fire.
yes, that's what I was trying to tell you. I drew the constellation on the paper. I realized it was probably a little. Also, I got a dog.
There's a spy. There's a spy at the tent.
Kill it!
Also, I have this dog.
I
Saved me
didn't know
from
we
killing
were
myself
allowed to
like
bring
yesterday,
pets.
so it was good.
I didn't know
investment.
pets were allowed at the wedding.
But where is it then? Is it like an island? Is it in the middle of the sea? I guess it would be probably in the middle of the sea, right? It's probably in the middle of the sea.
I think so. I only have the coordinates via a constellation, so I would have to use the Antikythera. But I think
Estrella, you're
that
a
is.
badass navigator. You know this is, just in the middle of the ocean. No islands nearby.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, now that I think about it for 1 minute, it's definitely no islands nearby.
You've been through a lot, really. You shouldn't sell yourself short, though.
Was I
Just-
selling
What?
myself short? What?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think she was selling herself short.
Well,
No,
she was
this doesn't
like,
make
I don't
it.
know, it might be in the ocean. But I mean, to be fair, Estrella literally took us everywhere we went when we were on the Ultros. So,
Thank you, Naira.
Estrella, how long have you known the location?
Seems very pointed.
Like less than 48 hours. I just found out. And then I
Insight.
figured
Did you decide on
roll it.
I don't think I'm good at that. Oh.
Or like 35? Okay. Yep, she's telling the truth.
Does Sidon know the location as well? Or
No.
his children?
No, he's sent Chelsea to find it.
Well, we need to go immediately.
Can we kill her? How are you? Are you okay if we kill her?
Oh, most definitely. In the worst way. Like, it cannot be fast. We must do it very, very slowly. I loathe her. So, yeah, I guess in short, yes, we can kill her.
Yeah, okay, wow, yeah.
I mean, listen, what is the plan, though? You know, one of you will become a god and what? You kill Sidon?
Don't think any of us should be a god.
I would very much enjoy that, yes.
I was gonna try and turn myself into a god, actually. Yeah, maybe we should have talked about this. Maybe we should have all shared the plan.
Why do either of you think you're worthy of being god?
I need to get my son back, and so I need to kill Sidon to get my son back.
Yeah, someone needs to keep Sidon in check, and the half-gods aren't gonna do it.
And
You don't
I
need to be a
protect
god
my
to do
troops.
that.
There were other gods that could have.
They were like temporary gods, though, right? We need to become full gods.
And they can become full god.
So far, the only being I know of who became a god did it by basically winning a bet with Sidon. I'm pretty sure he's not going
Exactly.
to fall for that.
Yeah.
Well, are you saying the fire can't turn them into gods? Or
It's all myth at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, pretty much as we do.
I would say your family is kind of out of reach. They are trapped in a prison that is held by the Furies, and we know that we are not going to be able to break into that prison. So I feel like we need... If we're all going, I feel like we each should have the opportunity to become a god. Then.
We have to break into that prison anyway.
I kind of, I'm kind of on Daphne's side here, though. I mean, like, just because you're all relatively cool now, what if all the power goes to your heads?
Exactly.
I would just use it to protect Mitros.
The city or your kid? There's way too many. What's the plural? Mitri?
God, why do people name their kids after places?
The city. But, yes, the city.
That is why not just one of us can become it. Right? I mean, there has to be checks and balances.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I've been looking for all along, is just a balance against Sidon.
All right, hear me out. 3 different branches of godhood, okay? One of them will write the law.
What are the other two going to do?
Sorry, go ahead.
I have a terrible feeling about this.
You know, it sounds good on paper, but it really doesn't always work the best.
Right.
I do agree, though. Like, we should have more than one god. If we have a lot there, then we can use that as checks and balances. But I don't think we're going to be able to break into the prison without being a god. Knowing what the Furies are... I mean, otherwise, like... Lutheri would have already broken out, right? Like, us going against the Furies is not going to go well. So, unless we probably have godhood. That's what I'm saying. I am perfectly fine with rescuing your family. But I would say it probably has to be after we ascend.
Is there perhaps a way we could infuse items with godhood? I don't think anyone personally should become a god, but an item could do the same thing without the permanent power.
But then what if we get killed and then someone else takes the item and everything? I think we're getting...
I will give my spark, or whatever it is, to whoever you want when this is done.
I think jumping to immediately assuming that anyone is worthy of godhood is a little presumptuous and power hungry. I mean,
The alternative is what? We can't let this continue. How do we stop it?
I mean, you don't have to become God, Daphne, if you don't want to.
well, obviously, but I don't know if I can even fucking trust any of you.
Why? We have been on the side of this for a long time. We've just been biding our time. That is why we did the whole show with Kyra, is to bide our time and get in the good graces to see if we heard anything. That's why Estrella worked so hard to gain the favor. That's why we did those things.
Being a god is against the balance of nature. I don't.
All right, well, go tell that to the one God right now. I'm sure he'll listen.
And he's destroying countless lives daily. Who's to say any of us wouldn't turn out to be just like him?
And besides, Brissa, I mean, what about all those guards that you've decided to fight? You're telling me your anger is gonna go be checked with godhood now? I know, I'm not disagreeing. If anything, I would love nothing more than to stop Sidon. But I think making just the jump to, oh, I should be a god, is a little much.
Okay.
I like the idea of perhaps weapons. Or I think there's something else. Yawning.
What if? What if the fire can remove godhood too?
Exactly.
So
Maybe
what, you would
we-
remove Sidon's godhood?
Well,
Hopefully it comes with instructions on how to do that, and then we
Oh,
can
yeah.
just...
sure, it's just in the fine print on the bottom.
Right.
What if we let those who are willing, assuming we find a way to make this work, and it's not just all myth, find a way we let those who are willing and interested attain godhood temporarily to put us on equal footing. We either kill him or strip him of his godhood, whatever it takes, and then we return everybody back to normal. And then I take the fire into the astral plane and who knows, find a way to make it go away forever.
I think that's a great plan.
Just staring daggers at Brissa.
I do think people need something to believe in, right? I think
About themselves.
That is important as well. Like, don't get me wrong. That's why we always push the people of Mitros to believe in whatever they want. But at the same time, you have seen the power of the gods in being able to help the people and everything along those lines. And What if there are threats? What if a god from outside Thylea? Because we know that things do wash up on the shores. What if a god comes and that, then we can't defend ourselves because we have no gods? What if we put ourselves in that situation where, like, a greater threat comes to Thylea and we are up a shit's creek, so to speak. And to be, from what Larry has said, it seems like the Fates are kind of well on the way to also becoming gods themselves.
Oh, yeah. Just side note for all the people that didn't catch that part of the conversation when you weren't here. Mitros gave her divine spark to the Fates. That was also part of, what we did.
Yeah. Personally, wasn't super keen on that one. But it was, I think, more than anything to try and protect Lyra.
What if we have gods, but we oath them, as we have seen, that they can only do good, and, they are forever oaths and not just 500 lasting years.
Brissa, I love you. Like, on the tier list of people I love, you're number one. I'm so done with the oaths.
I will take it. I will do one.
I'm a
I
little
will protect
offended.
the city and do only good and help people, and only defend the city if it is threatened by an external force. We can work out the details later, but and actually make it so it's 100% valid. But I would be, I think that's as good. Yeah, I think leaving the world without gods leaves it unprotected.
Seriously, she's your number one? I thought we were tight.
It's like a 5-way tie.
Okay.
Probably not one of us. Looking at our Genti. Pascal's probably in there before us.
Pour some more wine.
Oh, Daphne's been drinking this whole time. Yeah.
Daphne. I am sorry for everything that has happened. But it has not been easy for Brisa or I. I do not ask for your pity, but this is not what I intended, and the only reason why I do all of this is because I think maybe one day I'll be sitting in these meetings and they'll tell me, we're going to kill Yanni today, or we're going to kill Daphne, or Lyra, or Argenti, and I will be able to save you. What else?
You do realize as soon as he figures out that you have a way to dodge his sight, you're probably done there, right? Like, it's probably not safe for you to go back at that point.
I don't care about that. As long as you are safe, but I will have no power without Sidon. I will be useless.
You don't think the Fate Mommies would take you back? They're kind of, they probably wouldn't. They're probably not happy that you left.
Yeah, they don't seem like big second chance people.
Well, you can create your own storm by becoming a god, and
believing in yourself, right, Argenti?
Exactly. You learn quickly.
I do think the gods are good against external forces and just to help the people in general. The 5 did do good for the people. Maybe Pito not as much, but like Mitros, and they did good. So that is why I do think having gods around is a good thing.
I think even Pitor did the best he could, given his... He didn't have the tools to deal with his frustrations.
Yes. He was a little hot-headed, that is fair.
let's put it on the list. If we
we're talking
turn
about the
into
drunkenness,
gods,
but
if we turn into gods, let's put it on the list that we have to go to bi-weekly therapy sessions.
like aromatherapy?
That can be part of it.
Sounds nice. I think if we are going to go, we have to agree. Can't debate about it later.
I mean, I personally, I'm not hung up on temporary godhood for anybody who wants it. I don't know that I even really want temporary godhood. I don't know if I can trust myself, but I think the long-term thing, we need to be careful. It's that simple. We need to be careful.
What if
Ira said that it was kind of like what, I don't remember what her exact words were, but basically, she felt trapped. She felt like it was more of a curse than a blessing.
Oh, yeah, she very much did not like it.
And if anybody, whether it's anybody here or anybody at all, even if you go into it with the best of intentions, if you start to resent it, what are you going to be? What's that going to do to you?
Can we not give it back to Thylea?
You tell me.
I think the sirens made it, right? So, I mean, it sounds like it's more like a made thing.
No, I mean, instead of us taking it, give it to Thylea.
I mean,
Imbue the land with godhood.
Isn't she dead?
She's kind of like...
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't
making
know.
the whole world a god sounds worse than one of us being a god, to be honest.
No, I mean Thylea and Kentemane.
Thylea is
Let them start again.
Then she would like get up and then everything would die because we're like living on her carcass, right? So like
Right, she would stand up and everyone would
and
fall
her-
off
all her
because
statues would
Thylea
just
is
crumble.
flat.
Yeah, everyone just
Maybe, but maybe
Thylea is a
not.
flat circle, and if she was to wake up, we would all just fall off the
You are
edge.
thinking very literally.
Thalia's
it'd be super awkward.
Actually,
But I do not make good decisions when it comes to this, so I'm going to actually go ahead and keep quiet. Now that I
interestingly
think-
enough,
no,
you're
that's
the
not
second person today to talk about Thylea being like a flat circle. I'm pretty convinced at this point that Thylea is what we would call a pocket dimension and pretty much doesn't exist beyond the borders of like the sea or whatever.
I mean, it sounds like from what we had heard, they were fleeing from something. Thylea was initially correct, right? So there was
Something like that, yeah.
so since they were fleeing, but this is obviously, like I was saying, dangers on the outside that we have to make sure that if they got back in, well, we could protect ourselves.
I mean, I don't want to be like the bearer of bad news. Estrella, your dog. gotta get it under control.
It's starting to pee on the corner of the table.
Oh no.
Obedience training is hard to find in the temple, Sorry.
But I mean, yeah, Brissa's right. Technically, like, yes, Thylea. Ooh, we all live here and we love it here. But there is more than that.
You think we should all leave?
There's other places. I mean, we saw them when we were in the tower. You right, Yanni? You remember that? Through the windows?
Yeah. I don't think I understood much of it at the time, but Yeah.
And the reason we even found Mitros is because there's tunnels on the island that go to different planes. Estrella and I found those. Like, there's more than just Thylea, and there's more than just the gods of Thylea.
Do you think we should go ask some other gods to come help us?
I don't know if I'd necessarily trust the other gods, though we don't really know them, right?
I don't know if they can get in here.
Yeah, I think it's less a help situation and more like a maybe we should be prepared if they show up at any point in the future or ever.
Yeah.
The sirens created the fire, correct? Is that what we know?
Yes.
No.
Did they create it or just find it or something? Stole it? I don't know. Given to them by somebody?
Because that part is still a mystery. They had
No.
the fire. That's what we know.
Hold on, I'm
They were
trying to
Sidon's
remember.
favorite. They were Sidon's
Oh.
favorite people, right? So,
Yeah.
and they worshipped him and they loved him. Did he give it to them?
No.
No.
Because he
No.
only sank them because of it.
Yeah, he it was bad. He did not give it to them.
Yes. With me, Lyra saw that he sank it. He sicked Scylla on them, and not the Scylla
Yeah.
that we all love.
Yeah. Remember when you told me it was Lutheria and it turned out it was him? Remember that?
Brissa and Lyra, your shared ancestor, told you
Right.
that an outsider had come into Thylea, washed up like all the settler races. But this one was different. This one possessed powers that seemed to be much like the Titans, but different. This outsider taught and then gave them the Promethean fire.
Right. Someone gave it to them. Someone from the outside. You remember what I was just talking about? How there's stuff outside of Thylea and we should be prepared for that.
Maybe we should be.
Yeah, someone showed up and gave it to them. And I think the plan at the time was, wow, look at this really cool thing, Sidon, we love you. And he was very, I hate this, and he sank the city. I think he was scared of it.
Yeah.
Technically.
I mean, they killed all their brothers and sisters so that there were no other gods, right? So, they're scared of other gods, right? So it kind of makes sense. They're like, oh, something that's great, another god, and threaten me. I must squash it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
But yeah, no, we didn't make it. We were gifted it.
It makes sense.
So really, if anyone deserves it.
Yeah, it was our ancestors. Fist bump, Lyra.
Yeah, fist bump. Score 1 for Lyra and Brissa. There's just a chalkboard behind us with little tally marks.
Fun to break that board.
You were so concerned when Lyra started wheeling it in earlier, showing you.
That's why she was actually gone for so long.
Yeah,
Trying to find
I was
it, yeah.
getting supplies. Mm-hmm.
So I think we'd be fine with me, Lyra, and we can rescue after we're gods. We can rescue the 5 from the prison and make them gods as well.
Saving your family, 100% still on the table, 100% still something I want to do. But if we go in there now, guns blazing, we will absolutely get completely annihilated.
Agreed. So, say we enhance ourselves first.
And we have to find a way to put Mintros back together.
Yeah.
That seems very godhood.
Does seem very godhood. I understand, Argenti, that you don't like gods, but I do see the good that they can do at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I know it sounds very selfish, but none of this is me doing it for me.
I will
None
be
of
honest with myself, and some of it is doing it for me, so I can rescue my child. Even though I also know that the second that Sidon knows I'm not against him, he will probably kill Estor.
I mean, that's the whole reason he's got him, you know.
I know. And I am willing to sacrifice that.
It's either
If
that or
I-
it's punishment for naming him Estor. One of the two.
Yeah, that could be.
It wasn't my first choice, but I got Mitros. He got. It was a fight, but in the end, sometimes you have to make deals.
Perhaps if we're worried about a guardian, we could just give it all back to Belmitria in the end.
I mean, she's going to be a god already if we resurrect her
But-
somehow.
But we could give it all to her.
Will she be a god since certain fate took her spark?
Oh yeah, she's probably not. But
Yeah.
Well, it was her choice, and I tried to tell her to put it on papers because you wouldn't believe me, but she said, no, it'll be fine.
God, sometimes you're just. Okay, fine. Yeah. If you guys think the best option would be for you all to become gods and ascend.
I
But
think
yes,
there should be more than one god, though, so that not all just to Belmetria. You more than one. That is kind of the point that Estrella was making, is the ability to choose.
Well, before I take on any sort of godhood, as brief as it may be, I think I should be honest about something. Perhaps for everyone to keep me in check. There's really no easy way of saying this, but when I was very young, I was an agent of Lutheria. And I did unspeakable, unforgivable, and horrific things. Some I can't remember, no matter how hard I try to remember. But one of those things that I did was that I delivered a clutch of eggs to Lutheria, roughly 500 years ago. And I'm trying to atone for that. And even if I can't atone for that, I just at least want to see that it's right.
Wow.
So I personally cannot be trusted with godhood of any kind, permanently. And should the power go to my head, I would hope that I would be put down.
You know, if you're sincere about trying to atone and learning from that, you might be the best option to be a god, because you know what failure is.
I would only act in vengeance.
Okay then.
Yeah, let's go ahead and vote now. Argenti, not a god.
I appreciate that, Lyra.
I would say that we leave it. If anyone of a group, if we're all going to go get it, then we all have the right to choose if we want to ascend or not. I think that is only fair.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a joke. We can't.
Okay.
I wasn't going to be like, you can't be a god.
Yeah, yes.
That would 100% prove Daphne's point. So.
Also, I would like to clarify that I'm actually not brittle-boned at the moment. I mostly just want other people to think that I'm a little feeble-minded at the moment. Because as Estrella has already kind of let us know, Sidon is watching literally everything that we do, so... But I
Right,
suppose it's not a problem now, so...
But not here.
Exactly.
And not with us.
But I did not know that at the time, so I'm very grateful to have that cleared up.
Are we certain he doesn't have other people here? Those
Well,
to keep
there's
an eye on you,
Estrella.
Krista? Or Estrella? No, I mean, I know Estrella. You've been keeping an eye out for us. You've been. I understand that. Understand that you're not about to run off to Sidon and tell him everything that's just happened here. But you have people here keeping an eye on you. You think that he could find a way to send other people that you weren't counting for to be here.
Like handmaidens, did you bring any handmaidens that will probably keep an eye on you?
Like your dog.
It's an
I can make it quick. Alright?
Oh, we're not puppy killers, please.
That's a line. That's a line.
Okay, this dog saved my life. I was going to jump. Wait, nope. I was going to jump off a balcony the other day.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
Wait.
Yes.
What?
Yes, no. Undoubtedly, Sidon is watching us every move. Through people who know that he's watching us through them, and through means that we cannot even fathom. Yes. All day, every day, and while we sleep, he is watching us. And so is Chelsea.
Yes. We just have to assume that they know our moves, and
Absolutely.
that is just something that we have to be aware of, is that as we do things, they probably know that we're doing things.
And Lutheria is watching me. She sent me many dreams, torturing me with the things I used to do, so...
I feel like that's impossible. She should not be able to do that. Are you
Oh,
sure
it
it's
is
just
not
not like your
impossible.
nightmares, like PTSD?
No, this is Lutheria. I don't know how she does it, but...
Okay, if we're having honesty hour, how long have the dreams been going on?
The last 3 years. Give or take. Probably closer to 2 years.
But that means those areas out? I feel like...
Probably not. I don't get the impression that she's out, but she does have a way to
Well-
reach out.
If her godhood was reduced like Sidon's was, then that would have been, she would have gotten all of her power back at that point, and she might be able to reach out
Maybe, yes.
in some ways, if not physically. She might be able to get some influence out now, so that's a problem.
But hopefully our rings should protect us against that now. If you've still been having them sent to you, I guess that, we don't know. I guess you'll let us know tonight. if
The
you
ring
had
stuff
any bad
just
dreams.
happened,
Yeah,
so...
Yeah.
Quick, Argenti, take a
Yeah,
nap.
that was like a day and a half ago.
Here we go. Back across the face.
Daphne wants to punch something. Knock Argenti out.
had
No,
the
it won't
idea
be
to not-
Argenti. Well, maybe, but no.
It's alright. I
As
understand.
you were saying.
It's not a perfect plan, but what else can we do? What other plan is there? There is this. We cannot allow this to continue happening. We have to do something.
You mean the wedding? I know. I don't think she's good enough for Ro.
Oh, God. I don't even want
No,
to talk about
I
it.
think she's fine.
I've never met her. No, she's no good.
Has anyone even seen Rotus?
She got all
Yeah, we-
uppity with us because we weren't able to save some of her friends who were too busy being charmed and eating
Too
each other or
Busy
something.
being charmed. I
Yeah,
Hating each
that's...
It was one of
It's a
Estrella's family
weird-
members.
Yeah, it was Estrella's aunt.
Yeah. So
We didn't know Astrea at the time.
she was eating people in the forest and stuff, and so it was, it was.
Well, it was like less her eating people and more like they were turning into fey creatures that were eating each other. It was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Family is pretty fucked up, huh?
Well, that's
It was, and Corinna, she was pretty upset about it.
yeah.
Anyway, she was fine with us before that, and like clearly had a thing for Ro. And then after that, she was just like, "Oh, screw you all," and that was.
Right. Well, to be fair, we found out that Astrea's aunt was the one making them eat each other, and we were like, "We're not going to kill you. We're just going to let you live as long as you help us and give us information." And she was like, "No."
Yeah, that's no, I can understand where she's coming from. Actually, quite a bit.
We were still pretty new to the game. We were still pretty fresh.
That's fair.
Well, at least we know we have an ally. Is that what it sounds like?
I don't think so. No, I don't think we should trust
Okay.
her at all. Yeah, no.
All right.
She eats people. We'll just-
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I don't even remember how we got out of there. I think we were like gonna make an oath, and then instead she was like,
we killed all of her like supplicants, right? There's a Minotaur in there.
"There was a
There's,
guy
like-
again. There was a guy again. We killed the guy again."
Yeah.
Well,
So we
she
killed everyone. And
could
we're about to kill
change.
her.
That was the first time we ran into one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it was.
Has anyone talked to that old guy that could turn into a squirrel? What happened to him?
Oh, shoot. I don't know.
You know, when we get the time, we should go through and visit some of these people that we met on our whole thing and make sure they're still okay.
That's fair. That is fair.
Hercus. That was his name. Hercus.
And
Yeah. Little gnome dude.
So we all
Yeah,
in
they call
agreement
it-
then. We can. It does not matter. We will let anyone who wishes to become a god, and then we will. After that, we can use it to restore the godhood to the 5 if they so choose. Everyone, we can oath it that we all agree. and we-
oof.
I think we
Yeah,
should.
I guess so.
I think we should as well.
Really planning to bring back Vulcan and Pitor?
I do think we do have to be gods because like that. The Furies sound pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that was literally part of the reason we were gonna turn into gods. It wasn't just let's turn into gods and kill Sidon.
I'm
There was
making
other
sure
stuff.
because I've heard before of whether or not Vulcan deserves to come back. Looks at Yanni
I'm sorry, what?
or be brought freed.
Yeah,
but,
you did
yeah.
say like he got himself trapped there. I
No,
remember
wait.
that.
You guys are taking that way out of proportion. I would love to free him too. Okay? I want to be clear about
Make
that.
sure.
But my whole thing was, and this was before godhood was on the table, so that kind of changes things a little bit, although, they have captured how many gods now. But it was if I can convince them to let the souls of the others out because they didn't deserve to be there, that wasn't going to work for Vulcan because he got himself caught. But if that was the only option to get any of them out, I would have taken it over nothing at all. That's all I was saying.
And I think that's completely valid, Yanni.
But I think we have other options to explore for sure.
Godhood. That's the other option.
So we want to oath it, and then that will be our new quest to get the primordial fire. And whoever wants to, we will assist in becoming a god.
Promethean fire. Primordial fire is probably worse. Probably
Yeah,
worse.
Probably a bad one, but yes, Promethean fire.
And then also, just for clarification, what are we doing after that? Are we going after Thylea, or are we going after Sidon?
We get Sidon, make sure everything's good there, and then go rescue Daphne's family. So I feel like they're already kind of trapped, right? So not,
Right. Yeah.
but
Like
it's a more immediate situation, right?
Right. Okay.
I'm all for being optimistic, but I feel like breaking the 5 out of the Fury cage probably also gonna let Lutheria out somehow.
Yeah, and then we'll have to deal with her at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
There are also quite a few, if I remember correctly, fully grown dragons that are also in the Nether Sea at the moment that I'm responsible for putting there.
Oh,
That,
so you can just get them back out then, right?
I hope.
well, that's gonna be real awkward because Bristle's not allowed to hurt them.
That oath is gone now. That oath is gone.
I know.
I mean, they may want to hurt me, but I don't think they should be hurt. They've been through enough.
I mean, after years of being in the Nether Sea, do you think they're actually stable? You know, it sounds like they've been probably not treated well for 500 years.
No, they've been actually pretty brutalized.
So, I mean, we will see what the situation calls for when it comes there. I would love to free them, and maybe we can make sure we have some type of magic that can heal a mind. I don't know if that is possible or not, but I think that would be good. So,
I think at that point when we get there we'll be gods, and none of us really know what that means. So
that is true. You could just maybe like touch their mind. It would like fix.
Is anybody else reluctant to take on godhood even just temporarily? I mean,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
it's terrifying. Absolutely.
because some of you seem quite eager, Brissa, and
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what to make of that.
I don't think
I don't
Brissa's
trust it.
eager. Sorry for talking for you, Brissa. I don't think Brissa's eager. I think we're both just on the same page that there's really not a better plan A.
Agreed.
That's true.
Don't
I think
get me
one other
wrong.
thing-
I will also enjoy getting vengeance for my son that I know is probably going to not survive this war.
Unless we find a way to sneak him out first.
And that would be awesome, but that would be rather. But then we also have to go to the fire first, right? Because it sounds like they are already on their way. So we
Okay,
go
so-
there.
Right. Also, we haven't really accounted for that fact at all. Whether we want to be gods or not, Sidon's on his way trying to find it too.
So we'd have to get there first.
So, if we, like, you know how the 5 and even Sidon and Lutheria, they all have like their, I don't know, areas of influence or whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, Sidon's all like storms and weather and being a pissy prick and whatever else he's in charge of. Lutheria's, you know, the dead and dreams and nightmares and batshit crazy.
And party.
But you know, like Kira was god of bards and song and whatnot, and Vulcan was the god of craft, and you know, so what if we get to pick what we are? Because then, like, one of us could be like a god of stealth and just like right in there and get him out.
I feel like we're going to get the fire though, right? And then he's going to know that we are getting the fire because Chelsea is going to be there, and then she's just going to, do some magical god stuff and be like, "Oh, hey,
I could
the light of Thylea is totally here."
I could get him out. But where will we take him that is safe? Because I will never be able to go back.
We could put him in Mitros. Mitros is safe from Sidon. For the most part. In the palace, at least.
Can you teleport on your own?
I can, yes, to Mitros, but it is only assuming he does not find out what I am doing before, because again, my power comes from him. But I can do it. I can try.
That would be taking time from us going to the fire and giving them an even greater head start.
So you're willing to avenge his death before saving him?
I am a realistic mother, and I am queen of an entire city. And while I love my son, I also realize an unwinnable situation. If one of you says something that but makes perfect sense, then I will do everything in that manner to save my son instead. But I also realize that if we don't do this and then Sidon gets the fire, then there's no hope for anyone at all. And then we're just stuck with Sidon, and that is not a world that I want to live in. I don't think that's a world that you want to live in either. So yes, the second that I handed my son over to Sidon, I knew that I was most likely handing his life over as well. And it tore me inside to do that.
Hmm.
And it tore Castus inside as well. He was not the same ever since, but he was very upset, and as any parent would be.
Estrella, do you know if there's a teleportation circle in the Tower of Praxis?
There is.
Do you think you can get me the pattern?
I think so.
Are we going on a rescue mission? I'm totally down for a rescue mission.
It would
But
give us a
wait.
way to get there quickly. Once we feel we have a need to be there quickly.
I mean, yes, but we have to go to the fire first, right? Like, I mean,
Right,
that
but
is,
if she can bounce back there and get that pattern.
but we would be in Sidon's tower, where Sidon is, and we are not gods, and we would be fighting. We would be fighting against a god, a full god, and
Look, I'm
the
trying
might-
to find ways to save your kid. Okay,
I
I'm looking
understand.
for options.
Semantics.
You
I-
seem to be the one fighting about it more than anybody. So
I am just being logical.
I'm confused.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to rescue him. I'm just being logical in our situation.
Okay.
I know I'm newer to this. I know I haven't really traveled with you all or how you got to this point anyways, but you talked about how, I mean, what led to where we are now was your only choice. And I just want to make sure that you're actually looking for more choices and not backing yourselves up into a corner. That's why I'm also a little apprehensive of immediate godhood.
I'm always up for options. Okay, my whole thing with chasing down Mitros was like my number one,
Mhm.
but I've also been like researching the Promethean fire, which again, not much out there. It seems to be more myth and legend than fact at this point. But you know, that was part of why I was looking into that too. I've been trying to play as many angles as I can find, but guess what? There aren't a whole lot of ways to balance a god. That's really what I've been looking for. Is just a way to provide balance against Sidon. So I am open to suggestions.
What if we just give it to Yanni?
Whoa. Why Yanni?
We all trust Yanni, right? Does anyone not trust Yanni?
You know I'm just a street thief, right?
Sounds like a good goddess sneak to me.
I don't know if I trust Yanni with something like that.
I think Yanni would be a great god. You know, he could be god of sneak or god of study, academia. I think that would be a great god for being Yanni.
What if we all just be gods? Like, truthfully, like, I know that we're doing this for actual reasons,
Yeah.
but how cool does it sound for us to all just be gods together?
I mean,
Take
I
the
think-
bottle.
I hate the idea, personally. I hate it.
I think that would
myself.
be fantastic in my
Right?
opinion. I think we should, again, I mean, and if you don't know what wants it, then I understand. But I think the more gods that we can, the more checks and balances we have, and the better.
But again, I will be powerless without once this happens, once we go.
Don't necessarily
will-
think it would be immediate.
Which is why
once we
we
go.
turn you into a god, and then you have your own powers because you're a god.
Or
Sure.
are you saying that the minute you, leave here and have a ring, that you think Sidon will start cutting you off that way?
I mean, you can always, he knows he can't see you inside this bubble, so he doesn't know anything's changed yet. If you take the ring
Okay.
off until you're ready to commit to not having him at least start suspecting things, that buys you some time.
Right, but that is what I mean. I mean, the moment we set off on this journey, he will know. And I will, the moment that we need my powers, I will be powerless.
Estrella, your powers are from yourself. Only you can create that kind of power. You know, Sidon gave you guidance. He showed you new ways to use your magic, but it didn't just come from him. You had to manifest it yourself through your spirit. Ira.
Are you
Australia,
okay? Are you having a
Australia is
stroke?
like really touched, and then these two, and she like looks away, and then she's touched again, and then look, she looks away. I don't know, Argenti. That might be true, but I don't know.
You're saying you're powerless without. I mean, he's a god, but I mean, he's a man. Like, you don't need
Right.
a man. No.
Thank you.
I'm so confused on what we're talking about now.
But no, because my powers are divine, and my magic is not arcane like Yanni's. Like I didn't learn it,
Yeah.
and I don't know unless it's innate inside of me. Then I'm pretty sure he will take them away.
But divinity, at least I think, divinity isn't just about, being able to summon comets or be able to rise the sea. Divinity's in all of us. Divinity comes from your spirit, from your soul.
Yanni,
Ira,
I mean, to be fair, I think like the actual true definition of divinity does involve a god.
that's what you've been taught. But, I mean,
I love the philosophical belief in yourself. I have one question though, and I apologize, Argenti. Yanni, because I believe you would remember more than Lyra would. What was it that Almitria said specifically to the Fate?
Wow, okay.
Oh, tell me I'm wrong.
I've just lived with them for 3 years, but it's cool.
Lyra,
I'm
do you want to
kind-
answer?
Almitria said yes.
Lyra, would you like to answer? Did you
No,
seem offended?
no, Daphne trusts you apparently, so
If you could prove me wrong, I would actually humbly accept that.
go ahead,
I mean-
Yanni.
The only thing she really said directly to them was, gosh, I was so like overwhelmed. I don't know if I remember verbatim, but it was basically along the lines of, "You're going to help us, right?"
So, if there is a chance that she gave up her divine spark to them for them to help us, would it be more detrimental and therefore not them helping us if they didn't give Estrella some of that clerical divine power back?
Here's the thing. I didn't catch their response.
I'd like to think she wouldn't give up their spark if they just went, nah, but...
Well, I mean, there was definitely intent behind it. It wasn't, I'm just giving you to this divine spark for free. But the Faith's whole spiel is, being in the background, pulling the strings, making things turn out the way they want. And they did that once for Estrella, and I don't know if they would do it again since she gave it away.
I'm trying to find ways to
I can ask.
ignore this word.
Anyway, you won't
Absolutely.
need me if you are old gods, and that is fine. But I just thought it should be said that my powers come from Sidon.
Yeah, but they
Well,
didn't.
no,
use-
I mean,
so
I-
there might be other
I-
options.
I totally understand that. I'm pretty sure that was like 80% of the reason Mitros did what she did, because if she hadn't, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be here. So,
Look, Estrella, nobody's asked this yet, and I feel like that's an oversight on our part. Are you okay if this path leads to us having to either kill or depower Sidon?
Yes. If I could do it right now, I would.
Okay, then.
I am sorry. I thought the oath that we made was going to protect everyone.
oh,
And
trust and believe. I don't think any of us thought this is how that was going to turn out.
I mean, the thing is, we're all good at what we do, but there's only one of us who's good at making oaths, and that's just more out of zeal than thinking it through. The thing is, I'm pretty sure that Sidon's got the brains of a barrister or something, and really thought through exactly how he worded things to have loopholes in our intent. So
Right.
Yeah, we really screwed that one up. I think the intention was there, though. I we can definitely, shit on ourselves all day, but the intention was there.
It was. It was a good intention. We just
We
wanted
got-
to stop the war. And
we got outsmarted by a Titan.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
he's been around longer.
We still ended up in
And
a
we
better
still
place.
we still got some
Yeah.
stuff.
We still ended up with the world in a better place, at least for now, than it would have been had there been all-out war.
Yeah, everyone didn't just get completely obliterated.
There's a lot more people on both sides still alive. So that really does count for something.
I agree.
We just gotta fix it long term. We stuck our finger in the hole in the boat. The boat's not sinking right now, but eventually I'm gonna have to pee, and I'm gonna have to take my finger out of the hole to do that. So somebody's gonna have to find a way to patch it completely.
You could probably just pee, Yanni. I don't think anyone would judge you for that.
Can we not go into
It was just an example. Anyway,
Something that you guys have mentioned, as inside of your minds, a lot of these thoughts are churning. There are things that you know, right? Your characters deeply know. Sidon, area, they came from Intimani, but mostly from Thylea. So there certainly is the passage of the divine spark, the creation of that spark in the Titans came from Thylea. And Estrella, you more than anyone know of the creation story once again. the Kentimane ate from the tree of Thylea. That the golden apples seeds pierced his skin, and in anger he threw them into the ocean, out of which the Titans rose. Maybe that tree is still there.
See, Estrella did just say though they should do something with Thylea, and then everyone looked at her just like she
Yeah,
was
that's-
dumb.
I believed in you.
I would say
I was
straight
like,
I believe
inside
you.
of
okay,
you.
no.
There's that thought now kind of churning of, even if Thylea is dead and you're living upon her, she is the source of the Titan's divinity. And even in her state of having sacrificed herself, that is where the Titans came from. Even in her current state, whatever that is. Death, permadeath, semi-death.
About this whole Thylea thing, because I really think we should think about that again.
Okay.
Do we think that's a backup plan? Like, like,
Well,
hey,
I mean-
we go to the fire
Sorry.
first, and if the fire's not there, then we go get the Thylea and apples.
Okay. There's one other thing. One other thing about this whole turning into gods. Because Balmetria is ascended to godhood. And then she really wasn't there.
Right.
So
Yeah, she was
why would
trying
that
to
be?
keep her insides from being on her outsides the whole time, pretty much.
So she could have been able to? There wasn't some of that outside godhood?
There's a flash of magic inside of the room, as all of your rings suddenly give off a
Ah.
silvery light.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
An illusory
Grandma's-
dragon's head curls into the room.
We don't have time for this.
When I ascended, I felt myself be shunted out of this space. I was able to bestow my children with divine power, but they did not become true gods, which is why they were allowed to stay, unlike me.
Oh. Who shunted you, or what shunted you?
She seems to look down, almost through the table itself, through the floor.
The land. This land.
The land.
So, essentially, Thylea rejected you as a god.
I do not know if it was Thylea.
She ponders. She kind of flexes her palm open and then closed and flexes it.
We were wondering where Kantemani was. I believe that he still slumbers, exists, to protect Thylea and her children somewhere.
Yeah, I looked for him a little bit too.
Keep in mind there are no stupid questions or comments,
Uh-huh.
but that in mind, is that not the same thing, right, as the PF, Not the same, right?
Yeah,
It's
not
not like
the same.
some...
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're saying if we want to be gods and be here, we have to find Thylea's tree. Or Kentamane. One of the two.
Well,
Get permission to be a god.
it sounds like somebody you guys used to run with is trying to get Petamane's attention.
Yeah, I heard she was involved in that.
Thought we were just gonna
Who's
keep
this?
that on the back burner.
Who's
Oh,
this?
right. For what other plan since we're backed into a corner?
It just seemed very low priority on the
Hmm.
list of things that we were doing.
We used to travel with. Her name was Casaria, and she is now leader of a cult, it sounds. That is worshipping Katamani.
Estrella, I think. Yeah. The idea of exploring, trying to find that tree is a good start. A very good idea.
I guess we have a few options laid out then. Do we go after the fire? Do we go after the tree? We know where the fire is at least.
We might need both, because honestly, from what it sounds like, Mitros' whole thing was she got her godhood by outsmarting Sidon, but Sidon still had to give it to her.
That's true.
So I think that's definitely a part of it. And Sidon's definitely not going to be like, oh yeah, you guys can have some of this. Even if we find the Promethean fire. So, I mean, also finding the Tree of Thylea and or Kentamane, I don't think would be a bad idea as well.
Good point. So we should do that as well.
Argenti, roll me a history check with it.
Have a flashback of when you tortured all those dragons.
Underneath the golden tree.
How so cute. Oh, really? With advantage? 11.
One thing that has come up in this campaign before, something that Argenti would have certainly found, especially when the nightmares came back, was the mention of the weapons. Now, this is not something that, is very often brought about. And when I say the weapons, I mean the weapons that Sidon purportedly had crafted to keep Lutheria in check, should it come to that. But it's a consideration, a thought that occurs to you, because the second that you mentioned Promethean fire maybe being used to create items, you kind of look towards Daphne, and if it's a fire, maybe she can somehow use the fire to craft something in the forge or the anvil or something, whatever smith people do. And then you kind of thought on that other thing that you kind of tried to pursue and you couldn't find a lot of information on, but Yanni had mentioned before, something about weapons that Sidon had created to kill Lutheria.
Yeah, I'll just, relay all that.
You guys skip through the cutscene. Press X a lot.
If Daphne just became the god of the forge, she could probably just make whatever kind of weapons she wanted.
That would be good,
Unless we get my grandfather back, and then there would be no need for a new god of the forge.
Or you could be like a god of the fire, and he'd be the god of the forge, and then
Or like he's the forge and you're like the bellows.
What?
or the hammer.
Full of hot
What
air.
if, guys, hold on,
the
hold on, hold on.
optics. I'm sorry, the optics right now. Eek. Like tone down the we want to be gods just a little bit, because
Yeah. What?
that'd be really
What if instead of having to become gods and risk Thylea or Kentamani or whoever kicking us out, what if Daphne could use the fire to craft weapons of power, like what Sidon made to use against Lutheria, to help put us on even footing without the risk of getting booted into the astral?
Right. Someone already mentioned that. What if we make weapons and then we die, and then who gets the weapons?
Well, if we die, I mean, who gets the divine spark that's inside of us?
I mean, the gods resurrect, right? That's like when Chiron
do
died,
they?
right? Yeah. I mean,
Do they resurrect?
The
unless they
real
get sent to
ones. The
prison.
real ones do.
When they're-
the real ones do.
Oh.
When their souls aren't trapped in a magic scythe by a goddess.
Yeah, that was too soon.
No, I mean, but
Was it? It's been 3 years.
why? Why do we need to be gods? We don't. It's
No.
It's risky.
Let's create vestiges of divergence.
Daphne's part
Fucking
god.
trade.
Wow, that's a cool name. That's a cool name.
Yeah,
I'm drowning this campaign right
it's
now.
a cool copyrighted
We're
name.
rising the oceans.
Um,
I'm sending the Balrog down, David.
You.
Yanni, I'm
I've got
trying
one for
so hard to
everything.
listen to you, but the peanut gallery right now.
Really lame.
I've lost my train of thought. What was I
I'm
saying?
sorry.
Oh no, we were talking about making weapons.
Yeah.
I would say a weapon can't like make a crops grow and everything
Oh.
like that. That we see the gods do.
I know what I was thinking was Daphne has divine essence. She was trained by a god of smiths how to smith. If we can get her the fire, what's to say she can't combine all of that stuff into exactly the right solution? Whatever that turns out to be. No pressure.
Right, no, I'm super on board with Daphne making cool god weapons if that's what we want to do. That sounds way powerful, but it still doesn't solve the problem of it would just be weapons. And then what?
And then we put them somewhere safe, so that if there ever is a threat to Thylea in the future, people could wield them.
This is
Or we
making the
tear them
assumption-
back down.
Yeah, and this is making the assumption that the Promethean fire would then go out after I forge these weapons. Maybe not. Maybe then you can get your godhood wet dreams that you seem to be so eager for.
No, I'm not worried about the fire getting used up for the weapons. I'm worried about what happens if we're gone and then the weapons are still there.
That's a problem for the kids.
I think the
I think that's not a good
Dragonlords. Whatever. Yeah, we can break them down. I smelted plenty of weapons before. Sure, I can do it again.
I mean, that still leaves the variable of we survive, but
Same with your whole godhood thing.
Here's the thing. If we fail, well, Sidon's probably going to take it out on the rest of the world anyway. What's it matter if he's got a couple extra weapons at that point?
I don't
Dark.
think there's any good solution here.
Nothing that we settle on is going to be without risk. So we have to figure out what risk is the level we're willing to accept. And I think the chance of some god-slaying weapons falling into the hands of somebody other than us if we die is preferable to Brissa becoming the goddess of rage and smashing all of Thylea.
Why would it be god of rage? I'm not ragey.
I've heard this story.
Yeah, you should have seen your brother. He literally like wounded like a lot of people.
I'm not saying you'd be the god of rage right out the gates, but what if you lose it once you're a god?
and this is why we have bi-weekly therapy sessions.
So, okay. to
I
make
always get
sure-
confused. Does that mean once every 2 weeks or twice a week?
You know what? Either one sounds good.
Okay. So to make sure I understand, are we going after the Promethean fire first? Maybe I forge weapons, maybe either way. Actually, no. So trying to understand what you two want in particular here. We go to get the Promethean fire. You become gods with the Promethean fire, and then we just hope for the best that you aren't shunted out.
Well, I think fire first, regardless of what we do with it, because we
Yeah.
know where it's at.
Yeah.
Assuming we can hold it, or what if it's a massive bonfire thing and we're not exactly going to be able to carry that with us?
Just under the sea? I don't imagine it's a bonfire. But I mean, I guess it could be magical, but I guess I don't really know.
Could be magical.
I would hope it's
I-
magical if it
you-
turns you
you
into
know what
a
I mean.
god.
It's just a mundane fire.
It's just
David, when Estrella had her little vision thing, did she see the actual fire? So we would at least have like a general concept, tangible fire.
I don't think so.
I mean, I think that's going to be a bridge that we're just gonna have to cross when we get to it.
thought
There's a lot of unknown variables in everything that we're saying.
now there's too many unknown variables.
That's the
I think we
unknown
should get the
variable
fire
that crosses the
Okay.
line. That's
I mean,
the one.
listen. If we all are gods, right? Then if Brisa and Lyra go bad god, then we can all just kill them. The rest of us will kill them.
Why are we the bad gods?
You are the most eager. I'm just in this analogy. It's just a what if.
Just make sure that you don't become evil, and we won't have to kill you.
And
Yeah,
I can,
we are the ones that
Well-
are turn evil. Not the one that definitely is related to Sidon. Not the one that used to work for Lutheria. Not the... Oh, sorry.
And this is why I don't trust you to become a god.
Oof. Burn.
Maybe I'll be the
Burn.
god of, not beating around the bush.
What is that psychological term when you just like not displacement, but you projection?
Dissociate.
The god of projection. Oof.
I'm the god of projection. I'll be the god
Very
of
fitting.
telling it how it is.
cold hard truth.
Toxic.
And before we do anything, I think we definitely need to try to get Brissa's child. I think we need to revisit that for a second. Because you will hate yourself for the rest of eternity. It doesn't matter if we beat Sidon. It doesn't matter if Sidon, destroys the world. To you, the world will be destroyed because your child was destroyed.
Oh, yeah. 100% I was going to be like, Team Rescue Brissa's son, even if you were like, let's not even worry about it.
Yeah.
Because that's stupid.
Just we would be going into his domain. I mean, the only chance that it would have is maybe Estrella going in there solo, right, and then somehow getting him out because she could be, spyish, right? That would be the only thing. I mean, I'm allowed to visit, and I see him, as often as I can. It is always supervised, though. I don't know if Estrella has the same limitations.
Right.
That just assaulting the tower, since I have spent time there, would be a bad idea, especially with Sidon there.
Well, I don't think we're just going to like go in there blasting.
Have you seen our plans?
So, we could run this by Thylea, since she is Thylea and all. Maybe she would be like, oh, hell no. Brisa and Lyra would make terrible gods. Or maybe she would be like, no, seriously, this is your best option.
Right. I love that. I love the optimism. Couple things wrong. One, don't know where she is. Two, don't really know if she still exists.
We didn't think Belmitria existed.
No, we knew she existed. We
I
just
did.
thought that she was...
I mean, that's what most people thought, though. Never mind.
My only issue is if Sidon gets the fighter first, and then we don't have any hopes because he would probably destroy it permanently.
No godhood or weapons.
Yes.
Did it sound like they had an idea of where to go, or just that he was really hounding them to start searching for fire? Straight up.
It sounded like they had been searching for a while.
Mhm.
And then I tried to convince him to allow me to look instead of Chelsea, and he said no.
But did they have a location of the fire as well?
No. They were still searching. No? Is that wrong?
Yeah, they had it.
They did?
Yeah.
They had the location of the Promethean fire? Oh shit, sorry. Yes, no, actually they did.
I'm just gonna take your wine from you now. I'm gonna drink it myself.
I'm
Oh
so
shit, you know
tired.
what?
I'm so
My
sorry.
bad. You know what?
You're good. You're good.
They do know where it's at, actually.
No, I totally understand.
So if he gets the
So
fire,
they're on their way.
Yes.
So we really shouldn't even wait until after the wedding. Like we should.
Oh
Keep going.
no.
Oh no! Look how hot I am.
We do have the ship, so
Really?
it is. You can get
It'll
there.
be even hotter with Promethean fire.
Didn't Rhodus already put off this wedding once?
You'll be fine.
Okay. We stay for the wedding and then leave immediately.
Yeah,
Like we don't hang around for the party.
I think that's fair.
Oh yeah, that I'm okay with. There's this guy walking around making this awful chewing sound, and if I find him,
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
and
bad.
he spits when he talks. Oh, it's awful.
Oh,
He was. I had to talk to him some. Yeah.
I'm okay with not staying for the after party.
I thought about turning myself into like making myself look like a satyr again, and then turning around and like kicking him in the nuts. But I didn't.
Effective.
Okay.
Like if I could really turn into a satyr and have a hoof to do that with, it'd be great. But I could just make myself look like one. That's the problem.
I think I could turn myself into a satyr.
Either way. So we attend the wedding after or at least I spent some time convincing the bride to not just run off into the mountains and get married. I don't know if that was
Oh wait, you convinced her not to? Oh shit.
yes.
I can turn myself into a satyr.
I told Ro to go for it.
I told Rhodus to not go for it, so hopefully he listens to me and not Yanni.
I haven't even seen Rhodus.
He was beating up a bunch of his soldiers.
That makes sense. If anyone's gonna turn into a god of rage,
No, they beat Rhodus.
Hmm.
But do we want to swear an oath then that we will go search for the fire and everything else needed, and then each of us can decide what we want to do with the fire individually.
That feels like a very loosey-goosey kind of oath.
Yeah.
welcome to literally every oath we've ever taken. This is why I'm over them.
Yeah. No, I think we should just go for it and not take an oath yet. And
Yeah. Because what if we all oath something that then turns out to be completely impractical?
As you suddenly hear brass horns, you look and you see that a lot of the light has kind of died down in your long conversation with one another.
Oh jeez, oh god, oh jeez, oh
And the
god.
trumpets for the wedding are being sounded. You guys look at each other. No oath yet sworn, Brissa. You kind of take your weak little five-fingered hands and grab at the sides of the chair that normally were just splintered under the pressure. You guys look at each other. At Estrella having returned. At Argenti's massive revelation that apparently he gave Lutheria dragons. At Yanni having been proffered to become the god of sneaky snack. Ring!
Yeah.
Or Daphne potentially crafting weapons. Estrella, the thought of maybe trying to reach out to Thylea herself. After all, Sidon got his storm powers from his mother. Maybe you could too. We will have to discover all of this at next week's session of Light of Thylea. That is going to be next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern is when we start every single week. If you guys give us a follow, you'll get the notification, so please do that now. Other than that, let's go raid another channel really quick. But during those 2 minutes, thoughts? I mean, now step out of your character roles, players. You're playing with Promethean fire here. What are you guys going to do?
We could, I don't know why we didn't mention this option. We could all be gods and each have our own cool weapon. We could do both.
That'd be pretty dope, actually.
That would be pretty
oh my
dope.
god. Oh, but what happens? What happens if you lose your weapon in godhood?
Yeah.
No. I wasn't worried about us losing godhood. I was worried about us losing the weapons. But if we have the weapons as gods.
Oh my goodness.
I just imagine Sidon like disarming us and we're like, oh, look at this cool sword of death and destruction.
She has battle master levels, don't worry about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week with some big decisions for this group. Until then, see you guys then. Bye.